But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but 1 season later he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Good morning. How are you? Welcome along to the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Shebahn Aherne, and former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning, everybody.
He's feeling festive. Coming up for you today, Liverpool take on Brighton at Anfield, and after their victory against Inter Milan, Arne Slot acknowledged that the Reds must improve their Premier League results.
We've struggled at home and away from home far too many times than we would like. I don't see the relation between home games and our results. I see it in all the other things I've said.
All the details to come, and we'll have updates on that game on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Wolves will head to the Emirates to face Arsenal tonight. Wolves boss Rob Edwards thinks his side have no chance against the league leaders unless they nail the basics.
We've got to make sure that we retain control of the game and it doesn't just flip straight to the opposition in dangerous positions, which too often it did against United the other day. If we don't do it in this one, then we don't stand a chance. It's live for you on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock, and following his opening round victory at the PDC World Darts Championship, talkSPORT's Ian Danter was full of praise for the sports teenage sensation Luke Littler.
So composed and so laid back, he was almost horizontal up there, but very impressive in so many regards.
So calm, so composed, a bit like Tony Cascarino. Every session of the World Darts Championship live for you here on talkSPORT. We'll look ahead to all of the weekend's action and get stuck into the big football issues of the week. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Oh, Mr. Went out with the boys last night, up with the men this morning?
No, yesterday afternoon out in London. Had a good few pints of Guinness. Reminded me of the island days. Just good fun, great chat. Yeah, really nice, really nice. I've had a couple of nights out this week.
I quite enjoy the daytime festivities. Yeah. When it gets to night time, it all can get a bit messy.
Well, we can't do them tonight, can we? If we're getting up and to do this show, and you're going to be you've got to be in some sort of condition, to be able to come on here and chat and not feel like, oh, I'm carrying this headache. No.
Yeah, that's true. Whereas if you can get a good 7 hours after having a few daytime Swallies.
No, it was good. It really felt like Christmas, especially going around London this week. And I missed the darts. I missed that because I was out at dinner as well.
Can you play darts? Just
yeah. Right, so I think play them, but
we need to now challenge Dean Saunders a little bit more. So you could.
Yeah, it's third on the spin. Yeah. He knows.
Yeah, triple champ.
He's so funny, Dino.
Oh,
he really is.
He does crack me up.
Yeah. Oh, he's crazy.
Hysterical.
I mean, in a lovely way. I've got to know Dino really from other people along the way. Liverpool players that he played with, obviously Aston Villa because Andy Townsend was with him at Villa and others. But I got to know probably he did a golf day for my cousin, and it was the night that Portugal played Spain in the World Cup 2018, and he was to speak after the golf, but before the match between Spain and Portugal, which ended up 3-3. And I literally had to drag him off the stage.
It's your time,
because the match started and Dino's carrying on. And I'm thinking, we've got this game, this really great opening game, and I'm literally dragging Dino off. You've got to come off now, Dino. So the game's on. And he didn't want to come off.
He loves entertaining. He loves company.
Yeah, he does.
He loves people and making people laugh. That's what I really, really enjoy about being in the company of Dean, is that he is the storyteller, isn't he?
Yeah. He's got a story on everything.
And he's good at darts, so we need to knock him off his old pedestal next year.
It took the ear off me. I wouldn't beat him because he'd just keep talking to me or something.
Throw you off.
Like,
good crack on Wednesday night, I have to say. And you're right, it just feels festive now, getting into
it did this week, and organising some things at Christmas as well, dates of doing this and blah. Yeah, it just felt very Christmassy.
Yeah, I slept with the window open.
Is this common? But I keep getting Christmas cards put on my car. Is that a common thing?
No, that's
on
not
the wipers
common.
where I'm getting a car.
No, that's not common. That's weird.
Yeah, no, but I've had like quite a few, because I'm in an underground parking.
Right.
So, but neighbours have put cards on the car, not through the letterbox.
Fine I've never heard of it before, but it sounds quite cute then. If you know
I know,
them.
I did. I don't think
just
it's
random
weird,
cards then.
Yeah, but happy Christmas cards. Instead of going to your posting it through your door, they put it in a wiper.
Does that annoy you?
I've never noticed it until this year. No, it doesn't annoy me.
Never had in. Usually I just get a parking ticket.
Parking ticket. Oh, was that? I've had a few of them cards.
Would rather a Christmas card.
Yeah, they're lovely, them ones.
Yeah, to be fair. Listen, Premier League back underway for you this afternoon. We've got 4 big games to look ahead to here on talkSPORT.
At talkSPORT, we bring you all the Christmas storylines. This is the Premier League.
Bring it on.
It comes back to Trossard, and the substitute finishes it up. Wolves rooted to the bottom, and there appears to be no way out. Neto at the far post, and he's jabbed the ball in. Bit of space here for Dewsbury Hall. Onto his right foot, shoots into the far corner, and scores a terrific goal.
Thomas hits it beautifully. Liverpool lead.
Welbeck with a header, 1-1. Merry Christmas, everyone. Villa have just given the rest of the Premier League an early gift. A proper title race.
Left-footed shot is in. That's the one he wanted. Erling Haaland, left-footed.
Mateta picks it up inside the area, and he scored again.
New chapter in this northeastern tale of 2 cities.
Second deflected, and in. Bruno Guimaraes. Brilliant hit into the corner, and Thiago puts in the rebound to give Brentford the lead.
Let's have it back on the edge of the penalty. Oh, what a goal! Talaka with an absolute screamer! And Bruno Fernandes rubs salt into the Wolves' wounds. It's 4-1 to Manchester United now.
So coming up for you today in the Premier League, 3 o'clock kickoffs. Chelsea take on Everton, Liverpool face Brighton, 5:30 this evening is Burnley against Fulham, and then Arsenal against Wolves is live for you here on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock tonight. We've got more games, of course, coming up over the weekend, but let's look ahead to Liverpool Brighton, Cass, because it's been nothing but pure drama for Liverpool with Mo Salah. He's all over the back pages again today. Looks like there's been peace talks and that he will be back in the squad. Yeah,
and it had to happen, and you just hope that Salah's gone there with any intentions of wanting to be back in the team. Arne Slot, I'm sure, would have, if he's wanting to have talks with one of his star players and sit him down and literally ask the basic question, do you want to represent this club again? Do you want to stay at this football club? They're all basic questions. Has your head been turned? Or do you, the way that Mo has acted, okay, Liverpool fans will forgive him if he gets back into the team, shows the desire and hunger that's expected. I think you can move on. So we don't know what was actually said. I never got Salah's promises were made that have been broken. That line, I never got that. Well, what promises would you have been made? I don't understand that question. Yeah. You know, because managers don't promise you're going to play. It's obvious if you sign a 2-year deal, you're going to be in the team and you're going to be in the starting lineup. Of course, that's going to be the remit. But if you play poorly, your manager can't say, well, you're going to play no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen for anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, you just got to have the conversation, shake hands, move on with it. Slotted said that. There's no point talking through the media anymore.
Or there's something
sit down like grown adults and sort it out. Move on.
You know, you don't. Why would Mo Salah want to burn his bridges at Liverpool, who has had an amazing time for a number of years and done brilliant things for Liverpool? Yeah. Why would you want to burn them bridges? I think he's got to take them. The right stance for me is now you get back on to, can you come back and have an impact in the team?
Yeah.
Because they've won at West Ham when he weren't in the team, and they've won at Inter. Okay? And that was a big victory at Inter midweek because Liverpool looked a lot more solid, as in the formation, the setup at the side, and they haven't looked like that very often this season.
Yeah. We're also going to get your thoughts on Alexander Isak a little bit later on. Big game for Liverpool today against Brighton. Also tonight, live on talkSPORT, Arsenal take on Wolves. That's the 8 o'clock kickoff. Mickel Arteta says his side remain fully focused on taking it one game at a time, despite facing a struggling Wolves side.
Yeah, at the end, you're going to have over 90 points probably to win it. So that means winning a lot of football matches. And tomorrow we have 3 that we have to earn. Hopefully tomorrow will change. We win tomorrow and then it's a different one. And then in the last one, we are the best, or in the last 2 or in the last 3. So we try to win every game. And that's the only thing that we can do in terms of being as consistent as possible.
Should be a straightforward win for Mickel Arteta's side, but is there any way?
What I saw Wolves against Manchester United, no chance.
Yeah.
They were awful. They've got even worse under Rob Edwards. And I'm not aiming the criticism at him. It's just they are awful. They've got, as the season's worn on, they've got worse. You're thinking you get some sort of reaction. New man. We talk of the new, spring into the step of players when manager bounce comes in. Not at all. Nothing from Wolves.
Do you think Rob Edwards will be regretting the move?
No, I think there's a job to be done and there's going to be massive challenges for him because quite clearly they're going to get relegated. There isn't anything I see that I go, they could go on a run. I don't see that at all. Their performance against Manchester United, and full credit to United, they ripped them apart in the end, but I didn't see anything that I think, that there's a little glimmer there of anything. Not at all.
Yeah, it looks like they could go the season without winning a game. That's how poor Wolves are. But you feel for them, you do.
I mean, look, we talk always when teams are sitting at the bottom of the table and how bad a run they're on and can they break Derby's record of points. And, I mean, at the moment, they look like they're not going to win a game for a long time yet.
Yep. For Arsenal, they have to go and destroy them, actually.
Well, Arsenal have got their own issues. Got so many injuries. And I mean, you see Norgard going in at centre-half. You see Marino play as a centre-forward. And there's other challenges within the group because they've got cluster injuries. They've got loads of injuries in certain positions. So there is problems that are giving Mickel Arteta headaches about, I'm sure. But it's the perfect game for them. Is having Wolves at home. Because at the moment, Wolves are cannon fodder for everybody.
Oh, Wolves fans, you can get in touch this morning. How you feeling about it all? 81089 is the number. Arsenal against Wolves live for you. 8 o'clock here on talkSPORT tonight. All of the updates in today's games coming for you on GameDay Live with Adrian Durham from 1 o'clock this afternoon. Coming up next, let's talk about Daniel Farke. He has secured his long-term future at Leeds with the recent performances. You can get in touch about that one as well. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How do you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino with you. Name that song.
Only by listening to words. I go on too many dates.
Yeah, that's it, Cass.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Oh.
Shake it off. Shake it off. But I liked it. You really took a wild guess there. A stab in the dark. I go on too many dates. To be fair, she does. But you know, she's getting married soon.
Yes, to the Kansas City player, isn't it?
Yeah, Travis Kelce.
Travis
Kelce. Yeah. But it's also her birthday today. She's 36 today. Is Taylor Swift. Happy birthday, Taylor Swift. By the way, she's an icon. I don't care.
Well, I do know, but I don't know anything much about her music, but I know that she's the hottest thing in the world at the moment, as in tickets and getting to see her.
I actually saw an article earlier on in the drive-in that she gave all of her staff life-changing bonuses. Just gone.
Well, she was already wealthy before she started music, wasn't she?
Was she really?
I think she comes from a very wealthy family, I'm sure.
Okay.
That her parents are very wealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help, doesn't it?
It does help, yeah. But she was proper country when she was younger, wasn't she? Like, loved the country music. But anyway, by the way, if you care, Scotland in our first game at the World Cup in Boston on the 14th of June.
Right.
Against Haiti, Taylor Swift gets married down the road that day. I'm not even joking. It's the same day reportedly that they're getting married. So I'm going.
There'll be more
with
people at the wedding.
I might try and float along, see where TT is getting married. Apparently, she's got a species of a millipede named after as well. A millipede? It's not very kind, is it?
Yeah.
Lots of legs.
Yeah, hundreds.
Yeah. So smart.
Well, it's a centipede and a millipede.
Very, very true. By the way, yesterday on the episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast, Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor were talking about Leeds fans reportedly maybe needing to owe Daniel Farke an apology. And if we're starting to see the beginning of Arsenal's title collapse, not sure about that, but when it comes to Leeds fans owing Farke an apology, how do you feel about that, Cass?
An apology? No, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, pressure's on you in football. I mean, what I would say that from November, if you look at their games, Brighton, Forest, Villa, and then in a week they had Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool. They're really tough games. And obviously they beat Chelsea and they drew 3-3 with a comeback against Liverpool. They showed a brilliant second half performance at City. So, you know, Daniel Farke's team has had a really, without accumulating a lot of points, you know, from them, they've lost one, they've drew one and won one. But there was a level of performance that will really please Leeds fans. You know, the way they attempted to get goals, a little bit of a different dynamic. We're playing two up front. That worked fantastically for them. They caused Premier League teams problems. Calvert-Lewin getting in some goals, chipping in, which is a big thing, because if he stays fit, he's a handful.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing tomorrow in the Premier League. It's Brentford away, isn't it, tomorrow? Yeah. How do you see this one going? Do you think they could
Brentford have slightly come off it, but they were, you know, a pretty shrewd Premier League team under Thomas Frank, and now obviously we're seeing what we're seeing from. Oh, I forgot his name. Oh, I know him, Keith Andrews.
Yeah,
Keith Andrews.
I know him.
I know Keith, and I'm thinking of his name. But yeah, he's had a decent start to his time as manager at Brentford. But
Very,
it's
very
a tough
good.
road because you can easily fall into a real dip in form in the Premier League. That's what it does to you. Your fortunes can change really, really quickly for good or bad.
Yeah, up to 16th, turned a corner. I mean, if they take a point from Brentford, that's great progress.
Yeah. And again, if they can show the same level of performance as in taking it to the opposition, Tanaka in midfield is, I think, a really good footballer, and he does the pressing brilliantly and is capable of getting a goal. He's just one of a good few that they've got.
Thoughts on Jeff and Gabby discussing maybe the start of Arsenal's title collapse?
No, I don't go along with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arsenal will just go back to type and get a lot of results. They've had some, I wouldn't say, if you look at the Liverpool game when they drew at Anfield, they didn't really offer enough. So that was a lesson learnt for them on that particular day. But the Chelsea draw, Chelsea played really well with 10 men. Arsenal was still a good team. They showed that at Villa. The Villa game could have gone either way. Aston Villa, as we know, are a really good side. Mm-hmm. They're set up brilliantly, okay? So that was always a challenge. And Arsenal are missing their main partnership at the back. That they wouldn't concede the goals they have in recent weeks without Saliba and Gabriel. They wouldn't. So when they're back, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully for Arsenal fans, you'll see them in the weeks to come. But Arsenal are a decent side. And like I said earlier, playing Wolves tonight is a perfect game for them, even with an injury list to get over.
Don't forget the talkSPORT Daily Podcast is available wherever it is you listen to your podcast. You can also get it on the talkSPORT app. And today it's Sam Ellard, Kwaku Afari and Arsenal broadcaster Matthew Pincus talking about Declan Rice. Is he the greatest midfielder of his generation? And where does he rank among Premier League greats? What's his best position? What areas he can improve on? Arsenal fans, if you're out and about this morning and you fancy a bit of an Arsenal dive, then you can jump on to the talkSPORT Daily Podcast, wherever it is you listen to your podcast, or you can listen on the talkSPORT app. And then don't forget tonight, Arsenal against Wolves, live here on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. And here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT across the day. Max and Charlie are with you at 10 o'clock this morning through to 1 o'clock with a warm-up. 1 o'clock, Adrian Durham bringing you GameDay Live, going around the grounds from the Premier League and the EFL and beyond. You've got 2 more live games from the EFL over on talkSPORT 2. Struggling Norwich, Cass, against a resurgent Southampton. That's at 12:30. And then it's Coventry against Bristol City at 3 o'clock over on talkSPORT 2 today. 5:30, the game day phone in. All of your calls coming in on the weekend games. You can vent your frustration or show your appreciation to your team on the game day phone in with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. By the way, they were good crack at the darts as well.
Yeah, they're always good fun.
And then 7:30, live and exclusive Premier League commentary from the Emirates as top of the Premier League host the bottom. Arsenal host Wolves. And then it's fight night at 10 o'clock here on talkSPORT. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up for you next, we're going out on the road with Swansea fans off to Stoke.
would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself. That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Shebahn Aherne, and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Cass, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Some of your headlines this weekend: European champion Gian van Veen has booked his place in the second round of the PDC World Darts Championship, but 12th seed Ross Smith suffered a shock first round exit. You going to get into the darts, Cass?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just part Christmas, isn't it? West Bromwich Albion picked up a much needed 2-0 win to end Sheffield United's 6-game unbeaten run in the Championship. And also Jamie Vardy has become the first Englishman to win the Serie A Player of the Month award. He joins an esteemed list of previous winners, including Cristiano Ronaldo, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Victor Osimhen and the great Scott McTominay.
That's unreal for Jamie, isn't it? Jamie Vardy going, to Italy to play football.
Yeah.
At a ripe old age. What is Jamie now? 37, 38? I think he's coming up to 38.
Yes.
Yeah. But fair play to him.
I know, it's brilliant. It's still going strong and doing bits at Cremonese.
Cremonese, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Fair play, Jamie Vardy joining a good list there. The award has been running since September 2019. Still fairly new award then.
Yeah.
But Jamie Vardy, I think, is a prime example of players who can still make it later on in the game. If you've got the right attitude and you're good at what you do and you keep your head down, you'll eventually get there.
He's got that wiry body that's never ever gonna put on any extra weight, or he's lean as anything, as we see as a player. He won't lose his finishing. He's definitely lost half a yard, and that's normal. But Jamie, even losing a half a yard, he's a bit like Ryan Giggs. Like Ryan Giggs was wiry, but he could keep going and keep changing position. And I'm sure, Jamie over the years has had to reinvent himself, because with Leicester, he went to the Championship, went down, got, initially wasn't in the team, but he'd then get back in the team and score goals, and then back in the Premier League. So he's always had to prove himself, and he seems to thrive on that. He's done that since he came out of non-league. He's always had to prove himself.
Yeah. Do you know what I love as well? Just little things. The way he smashes a can of Red Bull in the tunnel before he goes out, and he's so normal. I think, like in a way, he's normal. He does normal things.
Yeah, I don't know him. I don't know anybody that's actually, or I know has played with him, or just been a manager of him. But what I do see is someone who's tenacious, never stops thinking about getting goals. I can see it. And I've played with strikers that have got to a really late age in football who are goal scorers, and they got the same sort of, assets, attributes. They're really, and he's got that. I mean, going to Italy at that age is really, quite crazy, really. But fair play to him.
Yeah, he was linked to Celtic.
Yeah. I could see him, at least going another year. But his way of playing, getting on the shoulders of defenders, knowing when to take a touch and not to take a touch in front of goal, does it really well.
Yeah. I was at a Leicester's Legends night not too long ago, and they were talking about that Premier League winning side, and they involve obviously that Nigel Pearson had to do with it as well. Just before then, he'd left the club, and how every time they went out for a game, he always left a tray of, what was the shot? It might be Jägermeister.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Black Sambuca.
Oh right.
Black Sambuca for the coaching staff and the players to have a shot of on an evening game.
Right.
Like to kind of, and he always left it there. And I said to Danny Simpson, did you ever have one? And he said, I thought it was a test. Like, if you take it, have you done the wrong thing? But the coach would always have a shot of Black Sambuca before they went out for a game.
Yeah, that's not that rare. Years gone by, loads of people used to have a swig of whiskey and things like that before they play.
Really?
I played with a lad, with David Shearer at Gillingham, and Terry Cochran of Gillingham fans will know these names. They basically would have a swig of whiskey before they went out, and sometimes Shearer would have more than one shot.
Would put hairs on your chest, though, going, let's go out there.
On a cold night, wherever you are, if you're in Wigan on a Tuesday night and you're, it's freezing cold and someone says, have a shot of whiskey, that'll warm you up.
Off you go.
That happens numerous times. I imagine at all different levels.
Yeah.
It wasn't just League One level, or that would have been top flight players as well.
I'd love to see that now. With all the cameras you've got in the tunnels at the games. Like tonight at the Emirates, for example, 8 o'clock, it's Baltic outside. Mickel Arteta and all the guys. Right, quick shot, away we go. Never would that happen anymore.
Well, ask Jamie.
Someone would be crying about it somewhere.
Ask your other half, Jamie, golf, having a swig. Of cognac or brandy or whatever.
He'd be sick on himself.
A lot of them do it. Well, do you fancy a swig? Yeah, I'll have one, yeah. And you get that immediate feeling, that's lovely. Warms you right up.
Let's go. Could use one of them now this morning. Right now, time for this. Trips of the week. Yeah, we're going out on the road this morning. I wonder if these fans have had a shot already going to the games this morning. It's Swansea fans on the way to Stoke for the early kick-off. We can speak to a Swansea fan. About to board the coach. Good morning to Jeff Philippart. Hello, Jeff.
Jeff.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good, Jeff.
Jeff, would you have a shot before you got on the bus this morning? Does that happen on the coach?
Didn't even have a shot of coffee, anything else.
Fair enough.
Jeff, I've got to ask you because... November wasn't very good for Swansea. You didn't win a game, and then you get to December, and back-to-back, you get 2 wins and 2 clean sheets.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a change with the management. In fairness to Vito Matas, he's more of a, I would say, people manager rather than Sheehan. And Sheehan, who I had a lot of respect for, didn't seem to know who his best team was. Every game he seemed to be changing, and up front backs went from back 4 to back 5. The Charlton game, we were absolutely diabolical with the back 5. He changed the team then to a back 4, and we were more solid and come up with something. But straight after that game back home, he went to a back 5, and we were ludicrous again, absolutely appalling. So I think, as you know, when you're looking at back 4s and strikers, you need to be consistent. You need to get that confidence building and, give them the chance. They know their names are going to be on the team sheet every week and develop the team from that. And I'm seeing from Vito at the moment that I know it's only 3 games, but he's starting to look that way. So I can definitely see a better style of play coming. And I think, the closed season for Swansea is the best it's been for a number of years.
Yeah.
The talent is there. But they haven't been performing, and I put that down purely to tactics and man management. So with Vito now, with a different sort of approach, I think we'll be, definitely a top half side, but we got to build that confidence first.
Yeah, look, Swansea, Jeff, over the last number of seasons, it feels like they've gone out in the wilderness. They've just sort of been left behind slightly. You've seen the rise of Wrexham in obviously Wales, and and I just feel Swansea have not really got going again when they were a team at one particular time regularly in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think what you need to go back to when we were in the Premiership. We built such a good side, an attractive side, and you hear all these, I don't know if you read in the press, but he talked about the Swansea way, and the Swansea way was quick passing, a lot of possession, but very, very positive. And then other managers come in, Russell Martin, for example, or whatever, and all they seem to be looking at were the stats of possession. And we were coming up and we were having, fantastic passing games, all backwards, 75-80% possession with 3 shots on goal. And then losing 4-0. Absolutely ridiculous at the end of the day. So it's a matter of, we like the sort of Swansea way passing game, but it's got to be a lot more positive on the front foot. And again, the last couple of games, we started the possessions going down to 50-60%, but he was seeing 25-15 shots on goal, which is, a massive turnaround. And I think, that's that blend, you've got to be looking at that first. In my opinion, I've been following the Swans for 40 years. You've got to have a look at the solid back four, but then you've got to be very, very positive on the front foot, not, basic possession for the possession's sake,
You've only won on the road twice all season. Are you confident today, Jeff? I mean, it's Baltic out there today. You're up, you're out, it's early doors. Are you confident today? Do you ever not feel confident and think, I'll just snooze today? Stay in bed.
Well, I go home and away for a number of years, and there's three sort of sides you look at it. First of all, can we score a goal? That's a positive. Can we get a point? That's more of a positive. Win the game, and it's like Christmas come early, So those are sort of things as a Swansea fan travelling away. But one thing, that's important to us is confidence. Yeah. And I think when I see the last two games, especially the Oxford game, there was a lot more confidence in the side, and I think that gives us an opportunity to beat anybody. I think our squad, in my opinion, is strong enough to beat anybody. It's just you've got to put it all together. You've got to play with that confidence on the front foot, not make silly mistakes which we have been doing, and then move on from there. So I'm relatively confident. I think, middle road draw, I take that today.
Jeff, I say this to a number of people we speak week in, week out who do these journeys to follow the team. And I always say, some fans are just nuts. They just want to go everywhere, can't miss it. Even in the pain, even if you're spending lots of money, you still do it. And you're wondering why you're on the way back if you've had a heavy defeat, but still do it week in, week out. I find it incredible what fans do. Not only Swansea fans, but fans in general, week in, week out on these type of trips.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying, but what it becomes a bit of a drug, because the situation is when you don't go, then you miss it so much, it's incredible. But when we're looking at sort of the way I travel, it's usually one coach, we sort of independent. It's about 40 or 60 of us goes every week. And, with the 3 o'clock kickoffs, which I prefer and it should be, we get up this time in the morning, we go to a village or a town about a half hour away from the ground. So we have a couple of drinks, something to eat or whatever. So it becomes a very much a social event then. We're all friends together and from all walks of life. We wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for the football. And we get on so well, and it's a day out. So in some ways, I know this sounds stupid, but football becomes secondary. It's part of the day out. And again, we go in, win, lose, a draw. By the time we get on the back in the bus, you have 20 minutes to complain, then we back to normal, then laughing and joking, and when's the next game? It's that sort of stuff from there.
How funny is that? We all go along. You're all Swansea fans, so you're not going to really disagree, really, are you, on your team that much, you'd think, but you'd be amazed. I'm sure you do have your groups who think differently from you about where Swansea are as a club.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a fantastic social event. The only thing I like to say on this this sort of platform is I can't stand these 12:30 kickoffs. I know why they do it. It's all about money, but again, today's not so bad. We're only going to stalk. It's like 3.5, 4 hours. It's no big deal. But last year, start of the season, first 12:30, Swansea fans are travelling to Middlesbrough for a 12:30 kickoff. It's like a 6.5, 7 hour journey, and halfway up we stopped, and then we were meeting Sunderland fans going to Cardiff, coming the other way, all up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And when you get to my age, that's not the best. We'd like to get that sorted.
Oh, bless you. Well, listen, thank you so much, Jeff. Good luck today to Swansea. We'll be thinking of you, all right?
Cheers, Jeff.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Great to talk to you both. Take care.
And you get talkSPORT on the coach ride going up the road to this morning on the M6. Jeff fell apart there, and the Swansea coach heading up to Stoke today for the early kick-off. By the way, over on talkSPORT 2 today, you've got commentary from the Championship. Norwich against Southampton is at 12:30. Coventry take on Bristol City at 3 o'clock. All over for you on talkSPORT 2. If you're heading out and about to a game today, get in touch, 81089. Let us know the journey that you're making. And coming up next on the Weekend Breakfast, we'll get into this morning's back pages of the newspapers.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning to you. It's the weekend sports breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. We're going to talk about Celtic very soon in the programme. But for now, West Bromwich Albion won 2-0 at the Hawthorns to end Sheffield United's 6-game unbeaten run in the Championship. In other news, Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah is in the squad for today's Premier League match against Brighton, after positive talks with head coach Arne Slot on Friday. That's good news, you would think. And there's a big game at Stamford Bridge today. Chelsea take on Everton. All of the updates coming for you on talkSPORT from 3 o'clock.
I'm Alex Crook, and it's been a bad couple of weeks for Chelsea, losing at Leeds, dropping more points at Bournemouth, and then being beaten by Atalanta in the Champions League on Tuesday night. Everton, in contrast, on a terrific run of form, but it's 30 matches in the top flight since they last won here at Stamford Bridge. Will that run continue this afternoon? And can Chelsea get their title challenge back on track as they host Everton?
Cheers, Crookie. All of the updates coming for you on GameDay Live here on talkSPORT. Sam Stevens is here for a look at today's back pages. Good morning, Sam.
Yes, and I'd like to start by bringing you some shock news from inside the papers, the front pages, shall we say. Bit of a throwback, Shebahn, to the early sports breakfast days, perhaps, when we used to dive into the front pages on a regular basis. Bringing you some shock news regarding Andy Murray this morning. He's revealed that he has sushi for Christmas dinner.
Oh.
He said the two-time Wimbledon champion said he isn't bothered about a traditional Christmas roast because he wants to eat his favourite food on the happy day.
Yeah, but you couldn't fit. Sushi's like goodness, so you could eat that all year round anyway and then just have a cheat day on Christmas.
He says, I prefer sushi to Christmas dinner. One of the traditions I have for myself is that I order sushi on Christmas Day. It often gets the same reaction. It's my favourite food, and I feel like Christmas is a celebration, is a happy day, so I want to eat the food that I really like. One of our colleagues here at talkSPORT Towers, her family is going for a Chinese on Christmas Day. How do you feel about that?
What, at a restaurant?
A Chinese meal at a restaurant in Chinatown.
Christmas Day. Okay. Open on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Would you do you like that, Cass? Do you like the idea?
Well, I'm having one Christmas Eve.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going out for a Christmas Eve Chinese.
That's all right, though, isn't it? You don't want to do it Christmas Day. Christmas Day is all about turkey.
But all over the world, there's different, they have different traditions. I mean, I know in France they have fish on Christmas Day.
I guess you
and
make your
Christmas,
own traditions, don't
Christmas Eve is their big dinner. They have it more on the Christmas Eve night.
Oh.
So Christmas Day is not like our traditional day. It's
Yeah, I mean, I know. I can't wait for the good old festive scran. Like
I know.
Yorkshires and roasties. We're doing ham hock this year. I don't really do turkey, to be fair. We're going to do a ham hock, yeah. Don't really do turkey, but beef and all that. Oh, get in my belly.
Well, I
Make
will
me
be
hungry.
Don't send me a picture, whatever you do, because although I'm very grateful that I'll be having a Christmas dinner of sorts this year, I don't know what it's going to look like because it's going to be an Australian flavoured Christmas dinner.
You're going to be putting shrimp on the barbie.
It will be.
It'll be about 30 degrees. So.
That's right. That's right. So that's going to be different, isn't it?
It's lovely, though. Everyone like
At
on the
least,
beach with Santa hats
Sam.
and stuff.
No, thank you, Cass. Thank you. Well, it'd be nice, Christmas Day in shorts. It's something quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, be
Something quite
lovely.
different. Now, one of the vegetables you may have with your Christmas dinner, of course, is swede. Right. Let's go from talking about vegetable swede to a Swede, Victor Gyökeres. That's a terrible thing, isn't it? Mickel Arteta says Victor Gyökeres...
Sam, your taxi's outside.
Yeah, I know. Now, Mickel Arteta says Victor Gyökeres needs to be left alone to find his best form at Arsenal. With the current sample size too small to draw major conclusions. That sounds very businesslike, doesn't it? The Sweden star has come in from some criticism, with many split on the striker's start to life in North London following a mixture of encouraging and difficult displays. Gabriel Jesus' return to action with an impressive cameo in the win over Club Brugge has only brought the centre-forwards discussion into greater focus. Neil Warnock talking about this yesterday, Cass, on talkSPORT, saying he was never 100% convinced that Gyökeres was Premier League quality. Where do you stand on whether you judge him Do you judge him now based on his form? You've got to give him a little bit more time. We saw Tiano Barry score his first goal for Everton this week. It takes a bit of time sometimes when you're in the Premier League for the first time to adapt. He's obviously scored a few goals. Do you think that he's showing you that he's got the ability to be able to score goals at this level?
What I would say that no one's nailed down the number 9 spot over there at Arsenal, even before this. We've had Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. Obviously they'll be available. Jesus has already come back into the team, the squad this week. No one's really nailed it, have they?
No, not at all.
So it's a nice sort of problem for Mickel Arteta, because anyone who hit form will get that position, I feel. And I'll throw a spanner in the works here. I actually see, and I've seen quite a lot of him at Chelsea, I actually think Noni Madueke could play centre forward.
Do you?
I do, yeah. I think he's got all the qualities of that directness, sees the whites of the post, sees an opportunity to score a goal. I think he's got that in his locker. Okay? And that, people might go, that's not an option, not a option for him to play there. But I watch him play, and I think he's got so many things that are good for a player to get goals. So they've got from Marino to Havertz to Gabriel Jesus to Gyökeres. I mean, Arteta's going to have a lot of choice there. It's finding the right blend who fits in at a certain time. But I wouldn't say he's had a difficult time. He just hasn't hit the ground running and expected he's going to get 25 goals this season. He's not. But I think over time, he'll gradually give a lot more to Arsenal. I think it's going to be a slow burner for him.
He's got 4 Premier League goals so far. He's
missed through injury as well. So.
Yeah, he has. That's true.
Give him a bit of a fair, we'll give him a fair crack of the whip here, because there's quality there. We know he can score goals, and he's come to a new club. It's quite a tough role. Arsenal's wide men are really, really functional for them. You know, players like Saka, who just create so much and score lots of goals himself. So, look, I think there's more to come from him, but I don't ever think now that, we're going to see him get numbers like he got at Sporting.
Right.
I just don't see that.
Do you think we're just always going to forever compare strikers coming to the Premier League now to Haaland? Yeah. If you've not got those kind of numbers, then has it not worked out for you? Is he struggling? Well, what is it, 6 goals you said?
He's got 4 Premier League goals.
4 Premier League, 2 in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So.
And look, the history of the football club, they've had some incredible strikers.
Yeah.
From Henry and others to Ian Wright to, I go back even further to Frank Stapleton and many, many others. They've had some great strikers over the years. Now, is he as good as them? Probably not, no. I think that's a definite at the moment. But can he become a better player at Arsenal? I think that's the more interesting point.
Yeah, he's got 6 and 18, so that's 1 in 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
But then that was Gabriel Jesus'
Absolutely,
number, wasn't it?
yeah.
He was a similar 1 in 3.
So
Havertz, likewise. So it's a tough gig.
Will be interesting to see what happens with the Arsenal centre-forward position, as you say, Cass. Madueke, an interesting option there. Now, Tommy Fleetwood, this is an interesting story, reckons his life as a long-suffering Everton fan gave him the strength and optimism to finally win his first PGA Tour event at the 164th attempt. The Southport-born star claimed the $10 million FedEx Cup in August before starring as the top point scorer in Europe's away Ryder Cup triumph. But he said he suffered years of heartache and near misses, just like his football team before the breakthrough. You're definitely more accepting, he said. My 2 oldest boys are Man City fans. They're 17 and 19. They've grown up with Man City being unbelievable. You should see them trying to accept Man City only drawing a match. They can't handle it. They've not quite managed to have the same upbringing as me and the same mentality where you accept whatever happens and you enjoy the good stuff. Is there an element of understanding how to deal with defeats more if you support a team, or you've got that in your background where you're not just used to winning every week, basically?
Yeah, well, there's an element of resilience to failure or not achieving the goals that fans and players expect. I'm a big fan of Tommy Fleetwood anyway, not only as a golfer, but as a person,
Great
the way he conducts himself on the golf course, and very humble in many, many ways. But I got 2 sons that support Chelsea. Okay, none of them have seen a bad time. They've not seen me at Chelsea when we had a really, mid-table team at Chelsea in the top flight. These kids have been spoilt with being Chelsea fans. I laugh because they never saw the hard times or the difficult times at Stamford Bridge. And that my eldest Chelsea fan son, he goes into meltdown if they've just done in the last week or two. That's where we are with Chelsea. I said, well, you were watching Chelsea back in 1992, 94. That was a regular thing. You were getting beaten back to back, quite often.
if your kids end up following football, Shebahn, do you think you'll push them in the direction of teams that aren't successful in order to show
like
them
Manchester
humility?
United?
Toughen them up a
bit. Yeah.
Like Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair.
Cheers for that,
Point.
guys. Appreciate that.
Good
No,
point.
as I always say to them, you don't lose, you learn.
Yeah.
Very true. Do you want one more quick one?
Quite often you lose.
Do you want one more quick one?
Go quick.
Mickel Antonio has been handed a chance to restart his career by Leicester after a year after his serious car crash. 35-year-old former West Ham striker, a free agent, been trying to impress manager Marty Cifuentes. Cifuentes says he's looked good and has been a good lad to have around as well. That could be a decent move, that, for Leicester, don't you think, Cass?
Look, it's all on what his physical condition is, Sam. Hopefully for Antonio that he's come back and get 100% recovery because, you know, from the accident he had, and the leg break he had, that's a long road for recovery there. Hopefully he can get his career back on track in some manner.
Yeah, we hope so.
Nice to see him get an opportunity.
Absolutely.
As well, considering everything that happened to him, you know. I've just seen that picture in the paper again, how he made that out alive.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he's a lucky man.
You know, incredibly lucky.
The recovery video really is something, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's 35 years old as well, so already you're kind of against your body, aren't you, in football? So
good to see him.
Good luck to him. Sam Stevens, thank you very much. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Celtic. Do we really need to? Is Wilfred Nancy up against it already? Good morning, it's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. And Man United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are just some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez joined United from Arsenal back in 2018 and became the highest paid player in the Prem. He'd averaged almost 1 goal every 2 games for the Gunners, but in his 45 games for Man United, he only managed 5 goals. Not what you want from a star striker. Next up, Radamel Falcao. He earned himself the nickname the Tiger for his sheer efficiency and the way he used to pounce upon the mistakes of defenders. But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than Tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but 1 season later he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Good morning, it's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Shebahn Aherne, and Millwall Hall of Famer Tony Cascarino.
Good morning, sorry. I'm away with the ferries there.
Good night.
No, I was looking at something regarding Celtic, so anyway.
Yeah, I could lose you there as well, actually. Liverpool take on Brighton at Anfield today after their victory against Inter Milan. Arne Slot acknowledged that the Reds must improve their Premier League results.
We've struggled at home and away from home far too many times than we would like. I don't see the relation between home games and our results. I see it in all the other things I've said.
Also, Mo Salah reportedly back in the squad. We'll have all the updates from that game on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock here on talkSPORT. Burnley also host Fulham at Turf Moor in a huge game near the bottom of the table. Fulham boss Marco Silva said his side must be more clinical in front of goal.
Being clinical, that is the main thing, because football is about results. We all know, and they speak very loud. We need to add that we know that if you perform in a normal way, we are going to win more games than to don't win.
That game is at 5:30. The updates coming for you here on talkSPORT. And following his opening round victory at the PDC World Darts Championship, our talkSPORT's Ian Danter is full of praise for the sports teenage sensation Luke Littler.
So composed and so laid back. He was almost horizontal up there, but very impressive in so many regards.
It was almost like Gabby Agbonlahor going up against Andy Goldstein at the talkSPORT Darts on Wednesday. Similar every session of the World Darts Championship live on talkSPORT. And we'll chat to the legend Russ Bray a little bit later on as well. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. I like Russ Bray. I wondered if he had a sore head.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, we were going to town
on
Wednesday, actually. Good crack. Good guy. Like his energy.
Yeah? Well, what's energy for you? What makes you... Is it laughing and just great
Yeah.
Because you're quite
Kindness.
feisty.
I'm feisty?
You're quite feisty.
What?
People say to me, what's Shebahn like? I said, she's quite feisty in a nice way. I don't mean that as in you like energy, don't you?
Do you think I'm a psycho? Like people
Well, we were talking about a film, weren't we? Play Misty for Me, which was a film in the early 70s, and it was about a radio disc jockey who got stalked by someone on the outside, and we were talking.
Crazy lady.
Yeah. And I said, you'll like the film. It's pretty bonkers, because off the theme of sort of the film Misery, and which is I think one of the great films.
Such
of all
a good
time.
movie. It's weird.
Yeah,
and
very
it's
weird.
Brilliant. Yeah. Why were we talking about me being a psycho again? Oh yeah, energy. That's right.
No, but in a good way, having energy, and that's what basically you have to have in radio, don't you? Because you're talking a lot more than TV.
Yeah, true. No, you do. I could talk to anyone. Jamie says to me, he cuts us off talking at 10 o'clock. Quite often we're asleep by 10 o'clock, but it's no more words after 10. Like, I do not stop talking at.
Can you notice if he's switched off when you're talking, if you're continued? Because that.
Yes, God, yeah. I'll say, what did I say there? Anyway, I don't know. It sounds amazing though. You're right.
I get that all the time. I'm sort of switched off, and
he was doing my head in the other night, Cass, because I went out on Wednesday, obviously, to the darts. Yeah. And I had to get home for about 8 o'clock because he had to go and see a client, right? So he's like, I need you back for that time so I can rush out. And I was like, right, fine. And I was pretty fuming because I was merry, I was having a good time, and I was like, I want to stay out of the darts. Anyway, long story short, came home, he went out, he had his Christmas Day on Thursday. Right. So he came back about 9 o'clock, and I was watching the Celtic game. I'm fuming, right? I'm watching Celtic Roma. And I'd said to him, Jamie, I got a notification saying that you brought in my parcel. We had a parcel at the front door, and I needed this parcel. And he was like, And I was like, where did you put it? And he was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, well, can you think? He was like, yeah, I'm not sure. If it's not in the house, and I'm not sure where I've put it. And I was like, come. But he was like lashed at the same time, and he was kind of being funny, but it was really winding me up. And I thought, I'm going to go full skit.
And you're 3-0 down at the time.
Just give me my parcel. Turns out he hadn't even brought the parcel into the house, and it was with a neighbour.
Oh, right.
Idiot. Anyway, I'm delaying, and I'm trying to not talk about Celtic, but we have to because it's been a tough week for the new boss, Wilfried Nancy. 2 games, 2 home defeats. Firstly, against league leaders Hearts in the SPL, and then Roma in the Europa League on Thursday. 2 really tough games, not to mention we've got the cup final tomorrow against St Mirren. He's off to a tough start. It's not been good results, but you can expect that. He's had some difficult games. talkSPORT's very own Alan Brazil admits he fears Wilfried Nancy may be out of his depth.
My gut feeling is this is too big a job, but I hope I'm holding my hands up here in a few weeks saying, no, I've got it wrong. This guy's clever. He knows what he's doing. But it's been a disaster so far. The head of recruitment falling asleep in the director's box. Out comes the checkerboard, red, white and blue. You're like, what the? Did someone not tell him what Celtic's all about here?
That was just another thing that he didn't need. The board was a bit embarrassing.
Unfortunately, you lose football games, and everyone can look from all different angles about things that happen and what maybe you're doing, what you're saying, and you can be ridiculed for it. That just happens. Celtic, I looked at the previous season after 15 games, 43 points after the first 15. This year, is totally different because Celtic are on 32. I think 32 this year, isn't it? They're second behind Hearts.
Yeah.
And it's a big drop-off from last season. I know from what I've heard and read and watched that there is an issue around style of play. Not so much. Formation always gets talked about because of the style, but it's are Celtic overplaying, and there's clear indication that they're not playing with a purpose that Celtic have to play with. Celtic at their best have always been a team, and there's some teams. Funny enough, had this conversation with a taxi driver this morning coming in about certain teams have to have a style of attacking and making the home ground like a fortress, and Celtic are one of them, and so are Rangers. So we've seen a real drop-off from both of the giants of Scottish football this season.
I feel that we just didn't have that against Roma as well. You can understand the fan frustration, but watching Parkhead empty out at 75 minutes on European night is It doesn't happen, you know. Therefore, I think it's not on Wilfried Nancy. It's not his team.
No.
You know, it's a tough game. By the way, we can't look and think we're going to bop Roma. They're better than us.
Yeah, look, the only thing I'd say, Shebahn, it does frustrate me when managers come in and they have their system of play, but they don't look at who they've got. Do these players fit in?
This system?
Do they fit into this system?
Well, this is it. He could have kept it the way O'Neill had been playing them because that was working.
Yeah.
Whereas he had made that change, and that is his style. That's why he got this job. It's worked for him, so you can understand why he has to make those changes. But you don't have the personnel.
No, I know, but if you don't have the personnel, it's a bad idea. You can only make that change when you get people in who can do the things that you want. You can't do it to a team that doesn't have that technical player, that player that can get on the ball and you know, you can give the ball to them, that it's no risk because they can keep it.
So they shouldn't have made the change mid-season. Should they stuck with Martin O'Neill? I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Well, yeah. Should they have started with Martin? I don't know. Only Martin can answer that more than me. What I do know is that Celtic look a far cry of the team they did even from last season, you know, and I'm seeing a team now that are getting beaten comfortably. No, I did see quite a bit of the Hearts game. Hearts have been not in good form, and yet they're top of the SPL, but they haven't been in great form of late. They started the season brilliantly, and Hearts have ended up getting the better of Celtic in that particular game, which, you know, it felt a line in the sand, that type of match where Celtic had... Look, Celtic has still got a game in hand. They could win that game in hand and be level with Hearts on point. So Celtic would still be the team to beat. But he's going to have to find solutions to the problems he's got very, very quickly.
Rangers lost also in the week in the Europa League. I think they're looking like on the cusp of elimination. Celtic, by the way, we're 24th in that Europa League table as well. So we need a win. We've got Utrecht, we've got Bologna as well. Need a win to go to kind of progress, and money will be everything there as well. You know, the money means everything to these clubs. But does the state of Scottish football, even more so in Europe now, really concern you? How do we bounce back?
I think it's impossible for Scottish football. That's my honest answer, is because the revenue that they create or generate is just nowhere near the levels of other countries. There'll be people who mention other countries that do have similar revenues, or maybe even less, that are doing better. But if you look at comparing to, obviously, the Premier League, Celtic can't even get close to revenue of even the bottom teams. So they're up against it. They're always up against it, and buying the best players, paying the best wages. They just can't do it, you know. And also, people will use another league, say the Eredivisie and all that, but they pay in different ways. They can pay far bigger sign-on fees, which you get immediately in many different countries, which you get the duration of your contract in Glasgow or in Celtic, Scottish football, and likewise in Premier League football. But the Premier League hasn't, just an enormous amount of money flooding in that they can pay huge wages. I remember when Kevin Doyle with Celtic was talked about, and the Wolves, it was Wolves, the problem was the money, and Wolves were in League One. Mm. You know, that was like, really? Celtic can't buy a player from League One because of his wages? It was an issue? Yeah. You know, and that's where Celtic and Rangers are. They can generate because they have amazing support, but they don't have the revenue in other ways.
I said this to Alan yesterday, and his job was on the desk. When it comes to the coefficient UEFA rankings in terms of football leagues, Scottish football league's behind the Austrian league.
Yeah, I could.
You know, we're on the floor, you know, and then you have to be happy that you're going to the World Cup. Of course you are. You're delighted. But how are we moving Scotland football forward? How are we moving youth development, you know, investment, you know, everything like that?
I mean,
we need to be more ambitious.
If you said to me, honestly, how could you benefit Scottish football and incorporate that with Premier League and other leagues, was as if you create UK leagues. If you have a UK league.
Yeah. And then
that would help Scottish football because you'll then be part of a UK league. Now, again, that's a change, and that comes with a lot of opposite arguments to it. But if you want to give more revenue and they're part of a UK league that incorporates, obviously, going down in the league's EFL and then the Premier League, you'd have to incorporate in them all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it would lift their revenue without doubt.
I'm sick of, and I feel for Wilfried Nancy. I do. He's got an absolute mountain to climb. He's got Loch Lomond to go. You know, it's all ahead of him. But also at the same time, I look at Scottish football and I'm like, what a shame. you know, what a shame that it's coming to this and you become the laughing stock, especially down here, especially at talkSPORT. All do is mug us off. Never talk about it when it's good.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
You know, there was a time when Rangers had an incredible array of players, Celtic likewise, that they could attract from, you know, obviously from the Premier League as in years gone by. Them days are really, truly gone. It's not there.
Yes, by the way, the cup final tomorrow. All the updates coming from Hampden, St Mirren against Celtic. We'll look ahead to that one tomorrow. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. By the way, Martin O'Neill is back in the studio with Jim White on Monday morning and Simon Jordan fresh out the Celtic dugout and into the studio here at talkSPORT 10 o'clock on Monday with Jim and Simon. Coming up next, get the kettle on. Cappuccino with Cascarino coming next.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn again? It's you again. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. By the way, we're live on the Smart TV. We're on the YouTube channel as well. Name that tune.
Well, Mr. Postman is called that.
Nailed it.
Yeah, well, that's not hard.
Extra point for who sings it.
I wouldn't know. Give me is there a couple? Martha and the Muffins.
Yes, that's who it was.
No, I don't know.
You went far with that one. The Marvelettes.
Marvelettes. Oh, yeah, I still wouldn't have got it.
Martha and the Muffins. This is a cute story. Wayne Rooney in the papers today revealed that when he was a wee boy, he used to write letters to his idol, Duncan Ferguson, when the former Everton star was in jail. Rooney said, I was a wee boy who supported Everton, so I just used to write to him. It was just me telling him how much I love him. And Ferguson would reply and say, thanks, that means a lot.
Yeah.
That's so weird. We're talking about weird letters.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, the weird letters. And people don't do letters like they used to, do they?
I know.
It's way different.
Yeah.
You know.
They just abuse you on social media instead.
Yeah, I've had a few over the years.
Do you write letters? Like, when was the last time you wrote a letter?
A long time ago. Don't need to, do you?
I want to say, is it Ali McCoy's who writes letter? Is it?
I don't know.
I can't remember if we had this chat once. He's a big believer in like still writing a letter.
Yeah, there is something
cute.
Obviously, wartime was a really serious time for people to have contacts. Like people going to war and being away for months after months. That was their only way of communication. And, you know, imagine for them families and they don't hear for a long period of time and then worrying about what's gone on. Yeah, but we did that. We don't do that now. We don't need to, obviously, for the obvious reasons. Message, phone.
When was that? Like, did you ever write to anybody when you were young, a wee boy, like Wayne Rooney?
Not really, no.
Did you ever get any weird letters?
Yeah, few.
Any weird pictures?
Yeah,
few.
Yeah, sort of. I remember a letter from someone I went to school with and wrote a letter to me when I was at Marseille, and it was a sort of letter of, oh, hi Tony, I'm used to, I'm so and so, and then. They'd had a breakup, and they'd heard I'd had a breakup, and everyone was, and it was a bit. I didn't reply.
Oh.
It just,
would you like to send her a message now? She'll get the message.
No, that was. But they look. Most of it's harmless.
Yeah. Do you know what I love now? Like, my kids are 6, and obviously writing's a big part of the development now and learning at school. And my daughter just really loves writing. And she'll write a letter at the end of the day and write in our wee kind of notebook and diary and all that kind of stuff. She really takes pride in her handwriting. I think it's a shame.
We can't lose that.
Very soon you'll be on the screens, you know.
Yeah.
I could barely write a letter now. Sam, what was the word I asked you how to spell the other day? Basic word. I could tell you thought you. Nailed it. Right, moving on. It's time to get the kettle on. It's time for Cappuccino with Cascarino.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on talkSPORT. Yummy.
And this week, Cass, you want to talk about Liam Brady.
Well, it was because it was the Celtic theme in the last part. And just put it out there. Well, I would always see Liam as a very close friend, and unbelievable admiration, respect for Liam Brady. I went with a very close pal in the late 70s to watch him play with Frank Stapleton, David O'Leary, and obviously Liam Brady at the Arsenal. And Liam was one of the reasons I weren't an Arsenal fan, but I'd go and watch Liam Brady play. And wonderful left foot, so cultured and just a beautiful left foot. And he glided across the pitch a bit like Cole Palmer. You know, he's actually quicker than you think. And of course, if I fast forward about 5 years later than when I was watching him on the terraces, I'm rooming with him, with the Republic of Ireland team. And Liam liked a game of cards, and so did I. We've ended up playing a London game called Kaluki, which I got the better of him at Kaluki and all that. But me and Liam had great fun in the room, and I couldn't believe it. And he was at Juve at the time, Juventus. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting opposite the guy I used to watch on the terraces, and now he's at Juventus. And I was Gillingham at the time, you know. So it was a real, like... And he was such a normal person, Liam. Anyway, so now I go to my career. And I sign up with an agency in Ireland that Liam was part of. And, of course, being my friend and also a playing colleague. And now he's my agent, if you like.
Okay.
So Liam was involved in the deal to Aston Villa when I went there and joined. And so, but if I fast forward a year later, Liam's become the Celtic manager. And I was talking to Southampton, Ian Branfoot at Southampton. A lot of Southampton fans remember him. And I looked like I was going to go to Southampton, and Celtic came in, and Ron Atkinson had agreed for me to go. And of course, I chose Celtic. Republic of Ireland, the link, had a really disruptive pre-season, and then I turned up. But the biggest challenge for me was that I didn't play well.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt it personally.
Yeah.
I let down Liam. I really did. I took it, because I had a couple of private meetings when I was in Glasgow with him, and then I had meetings in his office and talked about why it was all going so wrong for me. And so Liam knew the personal story as well. So it was a very tricky time for me.
Yeah.
But Liam was always there. He always tried to do the right thing. And he never held it against me. It just didn't work out. Sometimes that's the one thing that Liam had as a talent. Some things don't work out. And it didn't work out for me at Celtic. And he knew it felt like the perfect scenario. The first day I joined and we went Hamilton races.
What a place, but Hamilton Racecourse
it was
diamond.
Great. Me, Liam Brady and Mick Martin, he was assistant, went to Johnny Carroll had a treble. We were all on the treble. Me, Mick Martin, Liam. And I remember like celebrating with the two of them and said, this is going to be great, isn't it? And then 6 months later or 7-8 months later, I'm leaving the football club.
Aww.
But it always stuck with me, my relationship with Liam, because it's never been affected. And I saw Liam in midweek at a function, and it's just great seeing him, because I always held him as one of the greats I played with.
And do you know what? That's lovely to hear. Somebody who'll always stand by you and be there for you.
Yeah, he knew I had personal issues off the field.
Yeah.
He wasn't aware until I got to Scotland. Things weren't quite as they should be off the field. And so he understood that. But he was also, as a person, and I'll tell you what, we talk about Tony Bloom at Brighton and what happened. Brighton started for me under Liam Brady. Started to make, because Liam was on marches when they were trying to get out the Goldstone ground, and and all things. He was really driving the club forward, and actually done a decent job at Brighton.
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
Oh, that was nice to hear.
So it's really a Celtic. All the issues with me and Liam, being my colleague as a player, being my agent, and also being my manager. What a challenge that was. Yeah. And it was very, very deep. So you can see sometimes in modern football where, I don't know, Steven Gerrard might have got Coutinho, who he'd worked with at Liverpool. He takes him to Villa and it don't quite work out. Then it becomes awkward. And then the pressure's on Gerrard and, you've signed this guy and we're giving him this, this and this. And I was a record signing for Celtic. So there was a lot of weight with that problem.
I know we talk about the Celtic thing quite a lot for obvious reasons, but it weren't all that bad because you scored against the teams.
We'll
always love you, Cass.
I scored against Hearts, I scored against Rangers.
And that's the main thing.
It just didn't work out like it should have. But
Liam Brady had you bad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just Liam, really. More on Liam and how tough it was for him at Celtic at that particular time.
Absolutely. I like that. Thank you for that this morning, Cass. That was Cappuccino with Cascarino. We've got another coming up next week on the Weekend Breakfast, and on the way for you next, we'll talk about the high ticket prices for next summer's World Cup. Are there any deals to be found? We'll talk about that with a travel expert next.
have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself. That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centrepiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
How you doing today? It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Your headlines: Liverpool forward Mo Salah is in the squad for today's Premier League match against Brighton after positive talks with head coach Arne Slot on Friday. Really wish I was a fly in the wall in that chat.
Which one? Sorry, I was daydreaming.
Arne and
Arne Slot and Mo Salah, yes. Yeah, sorry, Shebahn, I've done that bad.
Story of my life, it's fine. Literally, it's fine.
Yeah, hopefully they've resolved some of the issues, and I hope that Mo Salah's understood that what he said was wrong, and now he can pay Liverpool back and get back to the Mo Salah that we saw certainly last season, or even close to it would be nice, because I think he really is. I don't think he's done as a player. No. I just think he's had a really bad time, and has he lost half a yard? Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'd probably go along with that. But there's still a player in there for Liverpool to be successful.
Liverpool Brighton, 3 o'clock this afternoon. The updates for you on GameDay live here on talkSPORT. Also Middlesbrough take on QPR. And one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Here's a reporter at the game with everything you need to know.
Here on Teesside, two of the Championship's in-form sides face each other. I'm Graham Courtney, and I'll be watching Middlesbrough, who've won their last 3 on the bounce, take on Queen's Park Rangers, who've won 4 of their last 5. I think this could go either way. It's the Borough against QPR at the Riverside.
Lovely stuff. Graham Courtney with all the updates for you today. Cass, an intriguing game. Can Middlesbrough put further pressure on Cove?
Yeah, I mean, they've been going well, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
No? Since Rob Edwards left, it's continued. They're still getting results. So, yeah, it's... I mean, Coventry have had a bit of a slip. That's about it. I mean, they've been sensational since the start of the season. So they're going to be the team to overturn. But Middlesbrough are going really well as well. So absolutely. Ipswich have been flying in recent weeks as well. Yeah. Millwall. Mm-hmm. Don't forget Millwall.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Going really well. They've got some big games coming.
Updates coming for you here on talkSPORT today. Let's talk about the story that was dominating yesterday, shall we? The World Cup ticket prices for 2026. Next year, supporters face paying thousands of pounds for the cheapest ticket to get to the finals, coming in at $3,000. That's wild. Fans group Football Supporters Europe have said it's astonished by FIFA's extortionate pricing strategy and called for ticket sales to be halted immediately. So prices for the final are set in 3 tiers. The supporter value is coming in at £3,119. Supporter standard tier is £4,162, and then the premium tier is £6,615. So really just set for people who have got cash to play with and burn with, not set for, supporters who already pay absolutely everything, make ends meet to follow their team wherever they can go. They're 7 times more expensive, these tickets, than the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, with the lowest ticket at that event costing £450. So you're up 7 times. That's just absolutely wild, isn't it,
Yeah.
Chris?
Well, football isn't the only sport that's been doing this. I mean, if you go to golf, Shebahn, and the Masters, if you want to go to the Masters and see the practice day and then day 1 and day 2, you can easily get to $30,000.
Yeah.
To go and see. So it's not the only sport that is guilty of this incredible. And look, concerts doing it all the time, aren't they? You know, Oasis was one of the big ones that there was lots of, people adding on fees and whatever cost to go and get a ticket or just getting one.
Money. FIFA had mentioned that in a statement yesterday, they'd had 5 million ticket requests in a 24-hour period over 200 countries. So almost as if, well, if we're getting the requests, we're going to keep the prices the way they are. But it doesn't mean that there's not rich people who are still willing to pay this money or who are well off and wealthy and can afford this. But you almost feel for those who are planning to go. But these prices, I mean, nobody saw this price.
No, it's becoming...
$3,000 for a final ticket.
It's becoming insane. And hopefully there's a line in the sand somewhere along the way because, going back to America in 94 when fans and lots of fans went there and they could afford it. Yeah. 94 was affordable at that particular time. It would have still come at some sort of cost, but not costs that are absolutely, just level. It's insanity really hearing some of the numbers.
So we don't expect these ticket prices to change, but maybe you could save a little deal and have a little deal somewhere when it comes to your flights or hotels and accommodation and things like that. Somebody who we can speak to now is a tourism expert, Anita Menderata, to get her advice. Good morning, Anita. How are you?
Anita.
I'm grand. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Anita, I wanted to ask you first of all, because obviously if you're looking at costs and, as Shebahn said, saving money, does that mean if you fly to America or Mexico or Canada, you've got to go to 3 different places before you get there to make it way cheaper?
I think you raised a really important point because in addition to the fact that the FIFA World Cup tickets are incredibly expensive this year, exactly as you said, 7 times the last World Cup, we're looking at the largest World Cup in the world in terms of the physical geography. There's 8,000 kilometers across the entire triangle of Mexico, Canada, and the US. So that's putting huge pressure on not only people getting to the World Cup, but also moving around the World Cup during the times in between, because as we've seen equally here in South Africa, I'm currently in Cape Town, was blessed to be here during 2010. During the game periods, we have that week in between, or 3-4 days, where people are allowed to move around the host countries. That's additional cost and time pressure. So this is turning into a very, very heavy calculation for anyone looking at joining the World Cup in 2026.
It's one of those ones as well where, as we mentioned, the amount of money that people have to spend when they go there and they're travelling and whatnot. Anita, are we expecting to see the hotels then go up in price as well, or can people save in any way?
Sadly, there's a natural opportunism that kicks in, both in terms of hotels and in airlines, and even at attractions in between. So we're hoping that what's going to happen is that the restraint is held, because what ends up happening is that when there is that price gouging that takes place during any mega event, whether it's an Expo, World Cup, or an Olympics, it ends up doing significant reputational damage to the destination. So any destination needs to be very, very careful. Also bearing in mind, this is the start of the summer season for North America. So people are putting a lot of their travel money for the summer holidays into the FIFA World Cup in 2026. We don't want any of those 3 countries being accused of taking advantage of all of the excitement around the beautiful game and the fact that people have holiday time off. Interestingly, though, what it will do is potentially shift travelers from focusing on the US matches to Mexico being a soft currency and Canada being much less in terms of the relative US dollar to Canadian dollar value. So it might actually allow for dispersion.
So is it possible that we've seen this before? We've seen it in golf happen, where last minute a lot of cheap deals become available.
It is possible. Is it probable? I'm not sure, because we know that there's firstly those first and second tier tickets. Much of that will go to hospitality. So those are the corporate hospitality packages, etc. And those will be bought up immediately. And those will include normally accommodation as well as potentially air. The third and fourth tier tickets, sadly, those usually get bought up in bulk by ticketing agencies and resold. So the heartbreak is that the supporters of the beautiful game, the really passionate football fans, they're not going to be able to afford the tickets because they're not even buying at face value. Add on top of that the travel costs, as we've been saying.
And he says it's only going to get worse. I mean, seeing this ticket price now for this World Cup, does it get better from here, or is it only going to get more expensive as the years go on?
I think people are sensitizing to the fact that this is a potential reality that's going to start taking place. As soon as you hear the term dynamic pricing, whether it's with concert tickets, FIFA World Cup tickets, whatever it is, it's really about supply and demand. And we know that in a situation like this, the demand is massive. This is where controls need to be put in place. And authorities like FIFA, they're the ones who are going to suffer reputationally as well. So it's about really putting our foot down and recognizing this is just wrong for the game.
So you would advise then that a fan kind of protest or revolt would almost help put that pressure on FIFA to make changes?
I'd be careful about the words protest and revolt. I work in diplomacy, so I would not encourage.
My bad. We work in football.
I will not be quoted on that. Fair play.
The word gouging that has come sort of around in the last sort of 5 to 10 years has seemed commonplace nearly everywhere, from concerts to sporting events. Gouging seems to be a very profitable way of making money very, very quickly.
It's profitable, but it shouldn't be acceptable. And I think this is where, again, we need to stop the behavior and let people recognize this is just not on. What's really sad as well is that often when you look into the stadiums and you see those tier 1 tickets, the seats are so often empty because, again, they're bought for hospitality, they're bought for VIPs, and there's no shows. So ultimately, and it happened to us quite honestly here in the Portugal-North Korea match when we were at the 2010 games, we just moved down because ultimately the seats were sitting empty. So it's just unfair because there's the anticipation of going to the matches, huge anticipation around the FIFA World Cup. And this is supposed to be in many ways, the church, the mecca of football. And you just don't want the religion of football and the blessing of football to be tarnished.
Another conversation we quite often have here, Anita, is about social media abuse towards players and clubs and whatever like that. Is it true that the US board have now put an implement in place that they're going to check your social media history before letting you into the country?
That is a comment that is being passed around very actively. It is a worry that started up many months ago in principle, quite honestly, when I was in Canada back in June visiting family. There's concern with people crossing the borders. So I think, again, it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent of being invited to be a part of one of the most important sporting and events in the world. People just don't want to feel that they're being followed by their technology, by their credit cards, whatever it might be.
Okay, Anita Mendarasa, thank you so much for your expertise this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Anita.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Great
Take
stuff.
care of yourself.
Amazing, isn't it? I was looking and I was chatting with Sam, our producer, with the revenues that have been created by FIFA, Shebahn, from 2002, we're talking revenues, it was 1.6 billion for FIFA, obviously. There's profits, which will be a slice of that amount. But it's gone up like from 2010, 4.2 billion. By 2018, 6.4 billion. And now they're looking at the US, 11 billion revenue. So it's literally nearly doubled in the last 4 years. And obviously profits are way bigger. You know, the cost of World Cup now is just exploded of how much money's being generated.
And they'll say that they're putting this money into growing the game.
Well, I don't know. I saw the ceremony. There's a few people there that get paid quite a lot of money.
I agree.
To go. So, and fair play to them. You know, watching Rio do his gig on stage, and I'm sure he was well looked after, and fair play to him, you know, if he can get the money from FIFA. Yeah. But they're certainly making shed loads of money.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something else there. I was like, well, Cass, what?
No, shed loads.
Shed loads of money. You're listening to The Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to Chelsea against Everton at 3 o'clock today. We've got Chelsea fan and TikToker Jack Barnes with us next.
and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Morning. It's the weekend breakfast on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino coming up for you today in the Premier League. Liverpool Brighton's at 3 o'clock. Burnley against Fulham is at 5:30. Live here on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. It's Arsenal against Wolves. And also at 3 o'clock, Chelsea take on Everton. We can look ahead to that one now. Enzo Maresco winning Manager of the Month for November yesterday after 3 wins and a draw in the Premier League. But they are winless in December. Clinging on to the top 5 by the skin of their teeth, we can talk to Chelsea fan and TikToker now, Burn. Good morning, Burn. How are you?
Hi, Burn.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm well, thank you.
Oh, lovely. Good to have you on with us, Burn.
Yeah. Oh, look, Burn. Let's put this to bed quite quickly because Chelsea, as Shebahn said, December's been a bit tricky. Defeat at Leeds, changes at Atalanta, lose that game. Going into today's game, I'm looking against a very resilient Everton. Are you conscious of, just looking at Chelsea and what type of team they are? I can't make up my mind. I see them on some days and I think, really good side. And then I see them on other days and I go, do you know what? Can't believe they've just lost that game.
Yeah, no, I certainly think this has happened for a couple of years now. I mean, Chelsea have been pretty inconsistent, pretty regularly, but I think there's a massive positive to take, especially from last month. I mean, we see Maresca's won Manager of the Month, and then we've gone into this month and we've had a pretty tough start. But at the end of the day, it was a 6-day period. We had 3 games in 6 days. We've had to rotate so much. If we look at last season, we finished the summer Club World Cup winners, Conference League winners. We'd also qualified for the Champions League. We'd won so many games towards the end of the season. We looked really, really good, really, really strong. And then we come into this season thinking we're going to have a pretty good year, but obviously playing Champions League football, having Cole Palmer out for a long period of time, it's been a really tough period. But I do think the whole discourse this week has been a bit blown out of the water because at the end of the day, it was a 6-day period where we've had 3 games where we've been pretty poor. But overall, I think this year we've been a pretty good team. And you can't go from title challengers and this sort of discourse going around that and then suddenly be really poor. So yeah, no, I think it's been a bit of a blip, but I don't think it's necessarily anything to really worry about.
Talk centre half position. Now that's for me one of the biggest issues Maresca's going to have. And look, it doesn't help when players like Fofana, who when he plays can be a really decent player for Chelsea, but there's been so many changes in that area. Colwell being injured out a long time, but seeing Bajesteele, Toussaint come in and others, it's a real issue, that position for Chelsea.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, overall, Colwell being injured is like a massive, massive loss for us. I think him having an ACL, I mean, he's out for the season. That's really, really poor for us in terms of how solid we're going to be at the back. Fofana filling in at right centre back, he's obviously had massive injury issues. We then had Badiashile came in. He played against Liverpool, was really, really good that game. He's then suddenly injured. And we've had all of these issues going around the centre backs. And then you've got to rely on a player like Josh Champong, who's 19 years old. It's not really fair to suddenly chuck him in the deep end. Reece James has filled in at centre back. I mean, there is a partly to blame for Maresca changing the centre backs around so much because that is a position on the pitch where you have to keep that solid. You need to build a partnership. It's 2 players that have to have such a good relationship, and the whole back line has to work as a unit, whereas other players on the pitch can be more creative. They can dot around the pitch. They can do what they want, whereas those 2, they have to be a solid 2 options, but we really haven't been blessed with either a bunch of talent or a centre-back partnership. So that's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite amazing because Chalobah was the one that looked like he might be going out the bridge during the summer, and then he's become the most important one at the moment, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been so solid. I mean, that game for me against Barcelona, he was like absolutely incredible. He was so solid, was tracking everything, was really, really great. I thought him and Fofana were absolutely fantastic against Arsenal as well. And I do hope that they both starting more games with each other, because they were so good. And what they've kept, like, I think it's 5 clean sheets in a row now. So like those two for me are like absolutely great options. They have to start more together. And I hope that they can push on and really build a good connection.
Well, I'm at the game today, Bern, and Everton are a tricky customer because, apart from the defeat against Newcastle at home where they were beaten 4-1, they've been really good in the response after that and before. So they've had, a good number of victories of late, Everton.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit Everton at all. I do think this league table that we've got right now is really crediting some teams and discrediting others. I mean, Everton being in 7th and like a Newcastle being in 12th makes them look like they're miles apart. But the fact there's only 3 points between us in 5th and Newcastle just shows how tight it is. I do think Everton are a solid team. I think Kieran Dewsbury-Hall has been a massive asset for them recently, especially picking up goals and assists. I think Iliman and Dye is absolutely fantastic. I think players like Grealish have stepped up, although I think Grealish is okay. He's had a decent start to the season. He's picked up a few goals and assists. I just don't see them scoring that many goals today. If we can bag a couple, I can't see us how we're not going to win this game. And especially with probably Estevao and Palmer starting, I just don't really see how they could get a result against us.
We will see how it goes at the bridge today, Chelsea, Everton. Before we let you go, Byrne, your TikTok and your social media is flying. All your content that you're making. There's a little niche one that going around just now about things that footballers do according to you. If you're watching on the YouTube or on your smart TV, take a look at this.
Some incredibly niche things that I reckon footballers do. I feel like Jack Grealish doesn't like plain water. Like, he has to have like squash with his water. I feel like this is because I've got a mate who looks just like Jack Grealish, and the only time he ever drinks water is a cup of tea or Ribena. I don't think Virgil van Dijk's ever been jump scared. Like, when you prank your mate and you hide behind a corner, you go, ooh, and they go, oh, and I just feel like Van Dijk would just stand there and just stare at you. And this is like from birth as well. Like, this guy's never been scared of anything his entire life. For some reason, I feel like Rodri's really good at ironing. I don't quite know why. I've never actually seen this guy in clothes outside of his football attire. I might have to have a look at that, but I just feel like he's just so good at it. I feel like he has like a strategy and a routine behind it. I feel like James Ward-Prowse has never touched a PlayStation in his life. Like, he refuses against it. Like, he thinks it's one of the worst things ever to ever touch a console. Like, he absolutely despises anyone who's ever touched a game. He also just is one of those guys that has an iPhone just to take calls. Like, doesn't use it for anything else. Has no social media, just straight on the phone. Very strict on himself. 7:30 alarm every single day. Cold shower straight away. Like, he's so uniformed and correct. Never touched a sip of alcohol either.
Byrne, keep up the randomness. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir. At BTEC Byrne on TikTok if you want to have a little look. By the way,
he doesn't do the ironing.
No, I don't. Yeah. Rodri looks really good at ironing. Was it Rodri said looks good at ironing? So random. This Saturday, by the way, 2 undefeated super middleweights, Diego Pacheco and Kevin Lee Saggio clash for the WBC silver and WBO international titles. In a world title shot. You can watch it live with our friends tonight on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Coming up for you, we're going to talk about the World Darts Championship. It's underway at Ali Pali. Every single dart is live for you here on talkSPORT.
For every good signing a club makes, there's bound to be a few that don't work out. And Man United have certainly had their fair share of those, especially since the end of their golden age under Sir Alex Ferguson. Here are just some of the Red Devils' worst signings since Fergie. First up, Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez joined United from Arsenal back in 2018 and became the highest paid player in the Prem. He'd averaged almost 1 goal every 2 games for the Gunners, but in his 45 games for Man United, he only managed 5 goals. Not what you want from a star striker. Next up, Radamel Falcao. He earned himself the nickname the Tiger for his sheer efficiency and the way he used to pounce upon the mistakes of defenders. But at Man United, he was way more pussycat than Tiger, to be honest. All he managed in 29 Man United games was 4 goals. Moving on, things couldn't have gone much worse for Jadon Sancho at Man United. Yeah, it would have been hard to outdo his Borussia Dortmund form, but 12 goals in 83 games is not great. Things got worse after a public fallout with manager Erik ten Hag. Sancho said he was being made a scapegoat. Ten Hag said there'd been a discipline issue. It all ended up with Sancho going back to Germany. Next, Erik ten Hag probably thought he was being smart in sticking to what he knew when he signed Antony from his former club Ajax. But the £86 million Brazilian hasn't really been able to hack it in the Prem. Chances are Antony's Man United days are numbered. Next, the curse of the Man United number 7 shirt. Not an easy act following Ronaldo, Cantona, Beckham and George Best, but Memphis Depay was another striker who was apparently allergic to scoring for United. He scored just 7 in 53 appearances, a huge letdown since he'd helped PSV win the Dutch league just a season before joining. Last one, Angel Di Maria was set to be United's landmark signing when he joined in 2014, but 1 season later he was already on his way out. 4 goals in 32 games was just not good enough, given he'd broken the British record transfer fee when he signed. And those are just a few examples. To be honest, the list could go on and on. Unfortunately, that's probably why Man United haven't won the Prem for a while, and why it might take a few more years before they're in contention again.
Good morning, weekend breakfast with you here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Coming up for you in the next hour, Liverpool of course take on Brighton at Anfield after their victory against Inter Milan. Arne Slot has acknowledged that the Reds must improve their Premier League results.
We've struggled at home and away from home far too many times than we would like. I don't see the relation between home games and our results. I see it in all the other things I've said.
That's quite a funny line, isn't it? We've struggled at home and we've also struggled away from home.
Struggling then?
Yeah, you're basically struggling. But it's a strange line. I've said to you for many weeks now, Shebahn, about Arne Slot. I want him to be able to turn this around and give him the chance and the opportunity. He's got some major challenges, but he's still got a hell of a squad there.
And it's reported that Mo Salah is back in the squad today, so perhaps their relationship's on the turnaround as well. We're going to have all the updates on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Burnley also host at Fulham at Turf Moor in a huge game near the bottom of the table, and Burnley boss Scott Parker remains optimistic his side can secure a much needed 3 points.
It's a game that hopefully we can go and execute some of the real good things we've done this year, polish up on the things that we've what have probably let us down in certain moments, and put in a strong performance that hopefully can get us a result.
The updates for that one at 5:30 on talkSPORT ahead of Arsenal against Wolves at the Emirates this evening at 8 o'clock for you here. We're building up to all of the weekend's football and sport on the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Quick reminder of your matches today in the Premier League. 3 o'clock kickoffs, Chelsea-Everton, then it's Liverpool-Brighton. Burnley-Fulham is at 5:30, and then Arsenal-Wolves is the 8 o'clock kickoff. Now on Wednesday, it was something else. It was a spectacle to behold. We watched Dean, the storyteller Saunders, on the three-peat at the world-famous talkSPORT Darts Championship.
Numbers. 2 again for Saunders. Above by a good 2 inches. Oh, and he pins it! And the champion makes light work of the Saints. The double 2 again for Gabby Bond. Oh, he's hit it! Goldstein is gone! The Gale force has been blown out by the Gabfather. But she's bust her score, so Darren Bent back in on double 1, nearly hits double 18. Hits it! Finally, Darren Bent pins a double. And lightning does not strike twice. Wires the double 2. Great marker. And he makes it count by pinning double 2. And the Chunk has won the Sports Bar Derby. Has anyone seen Jason Cundy out the board twice? But he hits double 3 with the final dart. And Dean Saunders for the 3rd time. 3 o'clock on the board. Got it. Game shot. The Chunk makes it through for the title. 1 dart outside, pins it! It's the three-peat! It's the three-peat! The storyteller Saunders!
Oh, what a day.
Oh, no.
Absolutely brilliant, yeah. Dean Saunders, fair play to him, he does it again, the treble champ. Next year, Cass is going to put him up against it a little bit more, hopefully.
Well, I'll have to be invited first.
Well, we'll get you invited. Ray
I'll have to practice.
Ray Parlour thinks he could beat him as well.
Well, I didn't say I think I can beat him.
Well, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, I'd practice.
You're uninvited.
I'd practice.
Yeah, Ray reckons he'd have Dean easy.
Yeah, well, he's always in a pub race, so he's got every opportunity.
I'd love to see it, though. But Dean, a worthy winner again at the talkSPORT Darts. You can watch it all back on the YouTube channel, by the way. It's good crack. The actual darts players are out at the World Darts Championship over at Ali Pali. A man who was with us on Wednesday, the voice, Russ Bray, was with us at the darts. Last time I saw him, Russ, it was about 6:30. You're with one of our breakfast producers, Little George, having a glass of red at the bar. How did it end up?
Yeah, it ended up very good actually. It was lovely. Had a great day all round. You know, I mean, it really was superb. Such good fun.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, look, darts has grown at an incredible rate, and I'm looking at the prize money, £1 million for the winner, and then any player that gets a 9-darter, 60,000. And I'm thinking, you boys who would have played years ago, you know, the revenue now that's available for these modern day darts players is it's gone crazy, I feel.
Yeah, it has gone off the scale. I mean, a great mate of mine, Keith Deller, when he won it in '83, I think he won about £8,000.
Wow.
Mind you, having said that, that was able to buy him a house in Enfield with a swimming pool. So, you know, it's pretty much cost relative, I'm guessing, you know. Yeah. But, you know, when you look at how the money has changed, it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, look, darts players are, you know, they're getting the numbers. That's what it comes down to. The revenue's there because it's being watched by a huge amount of people. And it's, you know, obviously the amount of people that are turning up to the events as well. You know, they're benefiting because of the way darts has soared.
Absolutely, Tony. It's 100%. You know, it's the game's gone worldwide, and you have little bursts. I mean, back in the 80s, you had Bristow and Lowy and all these sort of people, and then Phil Taylor came along, and he dominated for God knows how many years. Then you had Michael Van Gerwen kick in, so he brought it on another level. And now, obviously, you know, Luke Littler has took it another level again. So the actual game itself is riding the crest of a wave, and it's just, you know, I just can't see it crashing down. It's amazing, and it is literally worldwide.
Yeah. Tell me what you've seen so far. Obviously, some big wins for people like Rob Cross, Ross Smith, and others.
Yeah.
A lot of English guys there doing well. Tell us what you've seen in the early stages so far.
Well, Ross Smith actually got beat, didn't he? You know, which was a bit of a surprise, really, because Andreas Harrison turned him. Yeah, Andreas Harrison turned him over last night, which, I mean, I felt for Ross. He had 6 starts to actually win the match. Missed those, and then it became a struggle for him. But you know, Ricky Evans against Hugo Lung, or Manlock Lung as you would know him now. You know, he's all entertainment and jumping about and running around and God knows what else. So it's you know, he's another one that's done very, very well. Jan van Veen, one of the favourites actually. He's right up there, the Dutch boy, the youth world champion. He's very much in the mix for, you know, going forward. I mean, we've already mentioned Rob Cross. It's good to see Rob sort of slipping back into a bit of form again. So it makes the tournament that much better.
We can't not talk about, obviously, Luke Littler. We heard from Ian Danter, our commentator, who you're working with, Russ, that he's just so calm. He doesn't seem fazed. Do you just see it being him again? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, he's 18 years of age, and Tony will probably tell you, footballing wise, you know, kids of that age, they have no fear. There is no fear factor. They've not really gone through adulthood, as I would say. So, you know, and all the trials and tribulations that go with that. So he has no fear factor. So he's not worried about anybody. Everyone's worried about him. Yeah, of course he's a favourite, and so he should be. But you know, you've got other people in the mix. You've got Luke Humphries, who's playing tonight. He's very much one of the favourites. For me, the guy that's sorting himself out and got everything right at the moment is Mickel van Gerwen. And I kid you not, I've done some exhibitions and shows over the last couple of weeks with all of them, with Luke Humphries, with Luke Littler, Mickel van Gerwen, and Michael looks as sharp as a razor. He really does. He's very much the man to watch out, I think, personally. And you cannot exclude Gerwin Price. Again, he's another one that is playing absolutely lovely at the moment. Yeah. And it's great because all the top boys are hitting form. So, you know, watch his space. It's going to be a spectacular.
I know Mickel van Gerwen lost the final last year, didn't he? As well. He did. So we'll want to get some sort of revenge to someone like Luke Littler, Luke Humphries.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good to see him back because he's had a bit of a rough ride in compared to what he was a number of years ago.
Yeah, he had a few personal issues that are now, they're well documented, but they're now, you know, they're all cleared up, all sorted out. He's got a clear mind. He's concentrating. His whole concentration is back on darts again now. So, with respects to that, watch out, everybody else, because he is a spectacular player. Believe you me.
Can we ask you about Bo Greaves as well, Russ? I couldn't believe it when she came into the darts the other day to give Dino the trophy. Right. I was like, what's happening? I mean, I'm lashed, but I didn't know I was that lashed. That is actually Bo Greaves. What can we expect from her?
Well, I'll tell you, the girls have had it really tough with the draw, in all honesty. I mean, Bo's playing Daryl Gurney, who's the Irish lad, he's a major winner. And again, Daryl's just sort of hitting a bit of form again. So Bo's going to have to be on her game. Yeah. Bo's more than capable of beating anybody in this tournament. No two ways about that. She is the greatest lady dart player I've ever seen. And I've been around her. I really have been around a long time. Fallon, she's got Dave Chisnell. Again, Dave, you know, you don't know what's going to happen with Dave, a fantastic player. Lisa Ashton, obviously, we see go out to Michael Smith the other day, the other night. And Gemma Hayton, she's got Josh Rock, again, another young kid that's, you know, one of the favourites to even get the final, win the tournament.
Yeah.
So the girls have had a really tough draw.
Well, good luck to our Bo as well, because we're sponsoring her for this one as well. Bo, all the best to you. Listen, Russ, as ever, thanks very much. Good luck with it all today.
Shebahn, thank you, Tony. Thanks very much. Thanks for having us on the show.
God bless you, Russ. Take care of yourself. Don't forget talkSPORT 2, the home of the Dirty. Well, Russ.
He's got a great voice.
The voice, Bray. Yeah. You can watch it all on talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel to get our coverage of the event as well. For the first time ever, we will bring you every single session. It's part of the build-up and post-Christmas action as well, isn't it? Coming up for you later on this hour, former Arsenal winger and talkSPORT co-commentator Perry Groves will be with us to look ahead to Arsenal versus Wolves. Good morning.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Would you consider this one of the classics?
Underrated belter is what I would say this.
I think so as well. One of Elton's best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I tried to play this to the kids the other day. They were like, no, put on Last Christmas. But they love Last Christmas.
Yeah, George Michael's Last Christmas has definitely in the last decade sort of took the #1 spot, as in Slade was years before.
Coming back.
Wizard, you know. I always think this one's a classic.
Yeah, no, this is a great
I love Chris Rea's Driving Home for Christmas.
Brilliant, beautiful song as well, yeah. And actually, see if you do put that on Christmas Eve when you're out on a drive.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling festive, it will help you get there. But yeah, this one by Elton's an absolute cracker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love this song. Step into Christmas. Weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne. And former Chelsea and Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. It's that time of year with the darts and Christmas all syncs up, and it's the best time of the year. And Truffle the Mystic Pig.
Truffle the Mystic Pig?
Yeah.
Yeah, coming in.
Not an ex of yours, Cass. Oh, that's not nice. That's not kind.
Can you...
I don't know. It's done now. Have you done
Oh,
that
dear.
now?
Oh,
Man, trouble.
what to say.
Truffle the Mystic Pig tipped Luke Littler to win the Darts World Championship last year.
Hello and welcome back to Darts Corner's Look into the Future, guided by one of the purest talents in the sport, Truffle the Psychic Pig. Last year we paid Truffle a visit and she famously tipped Luke Littler to win the 2024-25 World Darts Championship. This year we've returned with a fresh set of questions for the Mystic Pig, who will be trotting her way through the lineup and using her trusty snout to sniff out who could shine brightest on the 2025-26 stage. Will she be right again? Truffle has sniffed out Littler to defend his title on this year's stage. Be sure to check back to see who else she'll select for performing highly at this year's championship.
Oh, there you go. Truffle the Mystic Pig predicts Luke Littler once again. I think I'm the same. I mean, I'm no purist.
Well, he'd be the one to be. He's clearly, I mean, what has he won? 5 majors this year in 2025? He's won 5 or 6. He's been so consistent this year and being the world title winner from last year.
Yeah.
Of course, he's the one to beat.
I'm pretty sure my friend's Rabbit sussed out who was going to win the Women's World Cup in 23. Got it right.
Your friend's Rabbit?
Yeah.
I know. It's become a bit of a strange sort of development, hasn't it, in recent years, of all animals picking out winners, and they haven't told you the ones that didn't pick out the
And
winner.
in fairness, the
There's
Mystic Pig
octopuses.
just knocked over every bucket going and then ended up on
Wasn't
the
there an
Littler.
octopus?
Yeah, there was not. But octopus are smart. They're different. They're different levels. They've got 9 brains.
Paul the octopus.
Wait a minute.
I mean, come on. They're going to get them wrong. Otherwise, they need to get to some octopuses and go to the bookies and get some bets.
Say that to the octopus's face. In fact, let's replace our odds guy, actually, from Coral now with an octopus. John Hill is here.
John.
Good morning, guys. Have a replaced
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per dinner per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. GambleAware.org.
Sorry, John.
Oh, you're all right. I went a bit early there. I wasn't quite psychic enough.
It's not you, it was me. It was me. How are you doing?
So I've
You okay?
replaced... I'm good form, yeah. Pleased to hear I've replaced Truffle the pig this morning. That's great news. And you have to say, Cass, you've hit the nail on the head there. Hardly putting her or his neck out there. I need going for Littler. Odds on at 4-5 to win the tournament. So maybe ask Truffle what tonight's lottery numbers are going to be. That'd be quite useful if she could predict those 6 numbers for me. That'd be nice going into Christmas and the New Year, wouldn't it? So, fair play.
It'd be more impressive if Truffle the Pig predicted every game in the Premier League
It would be
today,
good.
John, yeah.
And also, bang on with your Christmas shout there, Elton John Step Into Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute Christmas classic. I've had it in my top 5, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think one I didn't mention, but obviously the Pogues.
Everton New York, number 1.
It's one of the great. There's loads of great songs. Yeah.
Pogues is kind of frowned upon now because of some of the language and the
Why
songs.
though?
Because they say bad word, not a very offensive term.
Right, yeah. I know they have done is there like a
Sorry to bring the tone
remix
down.
version for radio that's safe? And But, it is a classic though, isn't it? Has to be said. Great video as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John, there's games today. Obviously, quite a number of them. Not as many as normal, by the way. But so, what game are you going to go to first? Because I'm going to Chelsea-Everton. I'm looking forward to that game. But Liverpool got Brighton today. You got Burnley-Fulham, and you got Arsenal late against Wolves.
Yeah, well, let's start Chelsea-Everton. I think this is an interesting game, because I think Chelsea have just hit this difficult patch, haven't they, recently? Got really close to Arsenal, and we were starting to see their outright odds for the title shorten, but it's not been the case recently. Defeated by Leeds 3-1, drew 0-0 to Bournemouth last weekend, and then beaten in the Champions League midweek against Atalanta. So they need to try and stop that run, Chelsea. They're odds on at 7-10 to do so. Everton in decent form themselves. They've won 4 of their 5 games to 0. Yeah. So really good defensive display from David Moyes' side. They're 18-5 to prevail at the bridge today. The draw 29-10. So that's the 3 o'clock game. The other 3 o'clock game, well, the Mo Salah saga continues. Back in the squad today is Mo Salah. Apparently they've had positive talks, have Arne Slot and Salah. I just wonder, will he start him today for you, Cass, or do you see him being on that bench?
If he's been introduced back into the squad,
So
I'm not sure
in
he'd
there.
start. What about an hat trick? What about an hat trick for him, John?
Well, I don't know about that. That would be something, wouldn't it? But look, in terms of the odds we do have, he's 9-2 to score the first goal. Check the team sheet if you're obviously playing that bet today around 2 o'clock. 6-5 to score any time at 90 minutes. So that's going to be interesting today. It's going to be one of the storylines of the day. So look out for the team sheet. But in terms of the match betting, Liverpool odds on at 7-10. Brighton 17-5. I think Brighton are a really good side, so I think they're a decent price there. The draw 16-5 in this one, and just looking at recent results, it's not been a great start to the month for Liverpool. Drew 3-0 against Leeds last week and 1-0 against Sunderland. They need to start winning games, don't they? Do the Premier League champions to get themselves back on track.
8 o'clock, talkSPORT tonight. Arsenal Wolves. What's the odds there, please, John?
Yeah, no surprise here, Shebahn. Arsenal, long odds on, 1-8. That's very rare in Premier League betting to see a side that short in the betting, but very much a golfing class in terms of these two sides. What is there? 31 points separating them in the Premier League table. We're only in December, so that's a massive difference. 18-1 for anybody, though, who do fancy Wolves to pick up their first victory. What a place it would be to do it as well, the Emirates Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
That would be doing it in style, so you'd have to take the hat off to them if they could do it. I'm sure they'd take a point. That's available at 17-2. But the champions, Arsenal, looking to bounce back from that defeat. Sorry, not champions. I'm preempting things there. The league leaders, Arsenal, 1-8 to come away with 3 points this evening.
John, are you racing Cheltenham? I mean, it's that time of year. Cheltenham today?
It is. Yes, no, I'm not there. I'm going to be watching on the box today, so I'm keeping myself nice and warm on the box, watching all the sport. But yeah, it's the December meeting today, second day of that 2-day meeting. The feature race is the December Gold Cup at 150, and a really good, strong field here, Cass, actually, and it's headed by Jaguar, who carries the JP McManus silks. Really classy, highly progressive novice last season. Won the plate at the festival, so he's having his first run of the season, and he's the favourite in that race to give JP McManus a big race victory.
Wonderful stuff. John Hill, as ever, thanks so much for your time. We'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, John.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
John Hill there from Coral. That was the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play golden rewards shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Coming up next, we're going to talk about Alexander Isak. Has this whole Mo Salah situation taken the spotlight off a bigger problem at Liverpool? You're listening to The Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
Driving home for Christmas.
one.
It's gonna take some time, but I'll get there.
The voice as well.
Stunning voice. That's nice and chilling this morning. You're on the road, going to a game or going to a sporting event. A little bit of Chris Rea driving home for Christmas. Not too early.
Early 90s, I think.
Is it really?
I think it's an early 90s song. Chris Rea.
Tune though. Good tune.
Yeah.
What's your number one favourite? Did you say?
A few.
Last
Nat
Christmas,
King Cole, Merry Christmas. That's a really great one. Nat King Cole's one. Obviously, I would probably. I mean, George Michael's wow. That's just.
Well, apparently this song came out in 1986.
Oh, was it as early as that? I thought it was early 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you're miles off it?
Yeah, well, as normal.
Chris Rea, big Middlesbrough fan, of course. You can get lots more of these tunes over on Virgin Radio, but stay with us. We'll try and convince everyone to get some more Christmas tunes across talkSPORT between now and the end of the day. Here's what's coming up for you here on talkSPORT. After us, at 10 o'clock through to 1, Max and Charlie are here with a warm-up. Then it's Adrian Durham at 1 o'clock with Game Day Live with every single goal. Well, not every single, but pretty much all of them. You'll get all the updates on Game Day Live on talkSPORT. 2 more live games over on talkSPORT 2. Norwich take on Southampton at 12:30. And then Coventry face Bristol City at 3 o'clock. 5:30, Game Day phone-in. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking all of your calls. And then 7:30 tonight, live and exclusive commentary of Arsenal against Wolves in the Premier League. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. And then it's the Sports Bar Weekender taking all of your calls from 10. You can download the talkSPORT app, take us anywhere with you, and stay across everything. It's the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. I'm going to focus now on Alexander Isak because Mo Salah dominating all of the headlines today. It's reported that he's had clear the air talks with Arne Slot after that bombshell interview he had done. And we wonder now if this saga around Mo Salah has taken a little bit of heat off of Alexander Isak because he cost 125 million. He's made 14 Premier League appearances this season. He's only scored twice and he's yet to last 90 minutes. talkSPORT Breakfast earlier on this week, Gabby Agbonlahor hinted that Liverpool may have wasted their money.
Isak, dearie me, I don't know who this guy is that Liverpool have signed, but he's not the Isak from Newcastle. He can't outpace a defender. He can't hold the ball up. Like,
and
he's just not
scored
involved.
a cracker, and he scored
yeah,
a
but that's
great
one
thing,
out.
yeah.
130 mil.
Yeah, I agree. Is he still getting any goal?
I don't want to hear about fitness, Al. We're in December, nearly January. He needs to step up because otherwise you're going to start looking at the Fernando Torres when he went to Chelsea from Liverpool. You know, them big transfers that haven't worked. This is looking like one of those.
Do you agree with that?
Well, it's worrying to see him be on the fringe of games. And you mentioned he hasn't played 90 minutes. And if you dissect them games he has played, them 14 Premier League games, he's been subbed 10 times and came on in 4. So, I mean, the only thing I'd say to Gab on, it's December. And look, I played my worst football the year I had no pre-season and I had a big transfer. And that was to Celtic. And I came in and lost form. I wasn't on top of my game at all in my early weeks of the season in Scotland. And Isak has turned up and looked like he's had no pre-season at all, where he's completely out of sorts. Also, he's lost a bit of belief, and they've realised that he can't do 90 minutes as the months have gone on. Now, Liverpool were playing lots of games in, games out, so he should have been up to speed by now. So, yeah, to a point, there's a big one, but I'm watching a player that's clearly out of confidence as well. And that he looks like he's there was a cross that Nketiah put in the other day and he's on his heels. He's not anticipated where the ball's going to come. And that to me is a mind thing, a mental thing. He's not anticipating where he needs to make the run. You know, how could he have lost a yard or two? He looks like he has, but how can he? Because he's 26. There's no way, I don't know anybody. The earliest I can think of people losing half a yard is probably 28, maybe 30. You can't lose at 26, half a yard. I think he's suffering mentally with how it started for him at Liverpool. Because I'm watching a shadow of the player that was at Newcastle. He went to Liverpool. I guarantee you that when they won the final against Liverpool in the Cup, he was outstanding in that game. And probably the two centre-halves come out and went, he's so difficult to mark. His channel runs, he did it brilliantly. I know Liverpool were playing in a different way. and there's less room for him to run into. And Newcastle had a different dynamic with, you know, whether it was Gordon one side, whether it was Murphy the other, that they would get into the spaces, they'll get him in the channels. But he looks so off. There has to be more than just a physical problem there.
Yeah. I think you may be right when it comes to the mental side of things, the effect.
He's suffering.
You do wonder, had it played out differently, had the move happened better and cleaner, without him not turning up, and then almost it turned against Newcastle and the fans turned against him, and you kind of understand why.
Well,
had that not have happened, would he have been a different kind of player now?
Well, look, there's a familiar line that we use in football is pre-season is money in the bank. And I mean by getting your fitness, getting it up to a super condition that you play your best football. So when you start the season and you're not up to speed, and then you're playing catch up, and with that your form drops and people are like questioning you,
and you've got 125 milli on your head.
Yeah. So you get affected mentally.
Yeah.
I got affected at Celtic. Okay, it's nothing like that, but I got affected as a record signing for Celtic. It affected me by the way I was playing. I couldn't understand why I was so out of sorts in my performance. And Isak looks to me, I mean, when I said I saw the cross the other night that I just touched on, and I'm seeing Isak on his heels, he's not full immediately. At Newcastle, we'd have made that run and got there. Yeah. Straight away. Wouldn't it? It would have been done natural, just naturally he'd have got there. But he's been caught on his heels. And he doesn't look like he can play with Nketiah, Nketiah at the moment. It doesn't look like they're... And look, they've only played a very few games together. But it's a massive concern for Liverpool.
Had he kept his head down in the summer, do you think it would have been a different story?
Well, if Liverpool had got the deal done earlier and they'd have got there and been really up to speed by the season started, I think we would have seen a different Isak. But now we're at a period, he's getting lots of niggly injuries as well. He's getting muscle injuries that and I know people dismiss it. It's December, that he should be over all that. He should be totally up to speed now. But Isak has been injured with minor things already, a number of times, not just once.
Any sympathy for him?
Well, I feel for him because I don't want to see any player that's a record signing suffering. But he is. We look at just about his performance, but I look at also, I'm watching him thinking, he's just not doing the things that he was doing at Newcastle.
Yeah. By the way, that game today, Liverpool against Brighton, 3 o'clock kickoff. All of the updates for you. Game Day live with Adrian Dunham at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And it's time now for this.
Step up to the Oki and win the ultimate VIP darts experience on talkSPORT.
Yeah, all thanks to us. This is an unreal prize. talkSPORT and Pitch Events, Pitch Experiences are giving you the chance to get to the event of the year, the PDC World Darts Championship at Ali Pali. It's on the 23rd of December. It's honestly, Cass, it's a bucket list thing to do, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
A great prize. You and 3 mates will be there. Platinum seats. You've got fine dining, a complimentary bar, and exclusive access to the 501 Lounge with our friend Russ, the voice, Bray. And by the way, he's good fun on a night out, I can tell you that. Then you can get straight to your Prime Arena table for the best view in the house at the darts. An unforgettable Ali Pali Christmas. Here's how you can get involved. For your chance to win, text the word DARTS, DARTS, to 83338. Texts are £2 plus 1 standard network rate. Or you can call this number. Jot this down, 0343 421 7508. That's 0343 421 7508. Your lines close at 4 o'clock on the 18th of December. If your phone rings, answer that day because it could be us with your chance to win. 18 plus and UK residents only. For your chance to win, text the word DARTS to 8333 now or call 0343 421 7508. Sorry. Text the word DARTS to 83338 now. That's text DARTS to 83338. Or call the number 0343 421 7508. It's a network promotion. Full terms and conditions on our website at talksport.com. And coming up for you next, we'll speak to one of our top team. Former Arsenal winger Perry Groves is with us to look ahead to our commentary at 8 o'clock tonight. Arsenal against Wolves. Good morning, it's Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT.
and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
it. They're all in it for each other, and even the players that have been left out, I think they should be playing. Mickel Arteta won't stand for any big-time Charlies. The New Zealand All Blacks rugby team call it the I won't swear heads policy, and he won't stand for that. And that's why it's taken 5 years to get where he is. Now the next step is that this Arsenal group of players have to win either the Premier League or the Champions League, because that's the journey that they're on. And then from their point of view, if you do win one of them, there's a chance with this squad that you could go and win 2 of the next 3 or 3 of the next 4. But the first one, Cass, as you know, is the hardest one to win.
Yeah, well, there are lots of good signs still there, with lots of players. Gyökeres is coming back, and I think he gets a little bit of a rough deal because he's not started as brilliantly as what you'd expect for a team of Arsenal stature, but he's done okay, which, I think there's more to come from him.
Yeah, Cass, I think there's a bit of a snobbery because he come from, obviously, the EFL, did brilliantly for Coventry, then he went to Lisbon, scored goals there. It was a bit frustrating. It's like a centre forward, Cass. You go to a new team, you get in a rhythm, you've got to have relationships with, different players. He just started to do that, then he gets injured against Burnley, at the beginning of November. And he's still got his 6 goals. But what he does is he causes disruption and mayhem, which then the other players can capitalise on. So if you're Bukayo Saka or you're Madueke or Martinelli or Trossard and you're playing in the wide areas, you want a centre forward like that to cause the mayhem with the centre halves and try and get in behind, because then they get more space. Cash, you played up front with Teddy Sheringham, didn't you, for a while?
Yeah.
And he was obviously like the target man. You had obviously good touch, but you was the target man, used to win your aerial challenges. And that had enabled Teddy just to drift around you and just float around like a swan, didn't he? He looked graceful and pick up the little bits.
That's what it was.
So that's how it works sometimes, the centre forwards.
Yeah, no, it's true, Perry. Perry, just a quick one. And with Arsenal being where they are, and obviously I'd expect them, most people would, to win tonight, do you think January they'll go again in the market? Because even though they've got this incredible squad, do you feel that they'll go, we need something else? And if they do, what would you think that would be?
I would think maybe a bit of creativity, another sort of creative player. When teams sit deep at the Emirates, I think we haven't struggled this year, but you can struggle. Like Eze's, done well, got his hat-trick against, obviously, Spurs, but he hasn't hit the heights that I believe. I think there's another 2 or 3 levels that he can go up. So in the centre-back and, midfield areas, on the defensive side, I think that Arsenal are okay. And if you want to, you have to strengthen in January. Mickel Arteta has already alluded to it, that you bring maybe 1 or 2. It won't be, wholesale changes, maybe like 1 or 2. And what that does is it keeps everybody else on their toes, because if everybody's fit and, fingers crossed, Arsenal fans, we hope that, it's going to be difficult even to get into the match day 20. You're going to get players maybe like Ethan Nwaneri, who might not get into the match day 20. So that's the quality of this Arsenal squad at the minute.
So why is there this worry then over these injuries? I thought that was as you mentioned there, Perry, about having 5 years to build the squad and, how they've consistently finished the last few seasons in the Premier League. Then why is there so much of a worry about injuries today? Because I already see it that some Arsenal fans that I speak to are already starting with the excuses, like there's not this solid confidence that they can go on and win it.
I think what it is, from the outside, when you're not supporting a team, you can be more balanced. Do you know what I mean? When it's in your blood, then even Arsenal fans today, on like Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe yesterday, were thinking, we should beat Wolves like 3 or 4 today. Then you get into the game, and then you start thinking, this ain't going to be the game where, we drop City points. So it's hard to be when you've got your emotions. I was with Crookie and Hugh Wisencroft on Sunday, and they were panicking that Wolves going to beat Man United on Monday. And I was like, calm down, boys, don't be daft. This is one of the worst Premier League teams that we've seen. Not, that is statistically, and when you look at them when you see them play.
Yeah,
but when your team's playing against them, you're like, nah, this is all, what it's like. It's about attitude and no complacency and playing at the right tempo. But with the injuries, the only worrying thing, Shebahn, about injuries is I think Arsenal have had 90 plus injuries since the start of last season. Now, that is a worry. You can't help the impact injuries, like Odegaard going on his shoulder or Mosquera landing awkwardly, but it's just those little muscle injuries that they seem to pick up that can be a worry. But then you hope that you get over those, and in the new year, you're getting your players come back fit, and then that squad looks even stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you'll win it today then, Perry? Have I got a wee prediction?
Well, I was pulling at my heartstrings because I was at Wolves as a schoolboy when I was 14 to 16, and they told me to get lost at 16.
Perry Groves derby.
Because my ginger hair clashed with a clip. So my heart, we win 4 or 5-0. Arsenal.
Not much sympathy then for Wolves. Perry, how you keeping? You all right? Everything good with you?
Oh, good. Yes, yeah, nice and busy. So hopefully, the more that obviously we do well, then hopefully the more work that I get. So these players have got to get their fingers out. You know what I mean? Not be so selfish. It's all about the collective.
Absolutely, every time. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
luck,
Enjoy
Perry.
the game tonight.
Cheers, see you later.
Perry Groves there, the former Arsenal ginger winger. Or was it called ginger winger? Is that what they call him?
Yeah, well, I
Some
mean,
kind.
I saw.
Sorry about that,
I played against Perry a few times with Arsenal. I don't know if I ever played against him when he was at Southampton. Can't remember that, but yeah. He come in and done a job, Perry.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Emirates live on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock tonight. Arsenal against Wolves. Coming up for you next, we're going to be joined by former Fulham and West Ham defender Tony Gale to discuss life at the bottom of the table.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist. It's seen a meteoric rise under its owner's Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership,
When it matters, get the job done marvellously well by a verified trusted trader professional. Talk.
talkSPORT Weekend Sports Breakfast. Spontaneous.
Good morning, it's Saturday, you're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and Millwall Hall of Famer Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Coming up for you on the show, Liverpool take on Brighton at Anfield today. Brighton manager Fabian Hürzeler says despite Liverpool's recent struggles, he's expecting a tough afternoon.
We always want to face the best players, the best teams. We know no matter which situation Liverpool is, it will be a big challenge, so we try to face it and we try to go there to win this game.
Mo Salah is back in the squad. We'll have updates on this game on GameDay Live from 3 o'clock here on talkSPORT. Burnley also host Fulham at Turf Moor in a huge game near the bottom of the table, and Fulham boss Marco Silva says his side must be more clinical in front of goal.
Being clinical, that is the main thing, because football is about results. We all know and they speak very loud. We need to add that. We know that if you perform in a normal way, we are going to win more games than to don't win.
Updates from 5:30 here on talkSPORT, and following his opening round victory at the PDC World Darts Championship, talkSPORT's Ian Danter full of praise for sports teenage sensation Luke Littler.
So composed and so laid back. He was almost horizontal up there, but very impressive in so many regards.
Every session from the World Darts Championship is live here on the talkSPORT network. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. What's it called? Spotty Sports Personality of the Year award tomorrow. Luke Littler could win, to be fair.
He'd have a shot. Yeah. I mean, he's achieved a hell of a lot for such a young man.
Yeah, so much. Rory McIlroy, I think, would be my choice. I think he'll get
with the
my vote.
Masters was
Yeah, just because.
a Ryder Cup.
What a moment that was. What a year he's had.
Yeah,
to be fair. 2 Lionesses up for it. Ellie Cole-Dunn, Lando Norris. Are your 6 on the short list. Who would you vote for?
Well, I'm biased because I'd probably go golf and Rory.
You're going to go Rory. Yeah.
That's only because I really love golf as a sport.
Yeah. It would be amazing to see him get that. By the way, just on a subject to Sports Personality of the Year award, so many people say, if Rory doesn't win, then that'll be a sham. Like, vote. You get to vote. It is your vote. So every vote counts and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Anyway, today, 5:30 in the Premier League. It's a bit of a relegation 6-pointer. Burnley host Fulham. All the updates as ever for you here on talkSPORT, and to look ahead to the game and discuss his other former sides at West Ham and Blackburn. Tony Gale is with us this morning. Good morning, Tony.
Tony,
you're on mute. Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
Dear.
Good morning, Shebahn. Good morning to the Millwall Hall of Famer.
That's it. He makes me call him that, Tony. He makes me say it.
Yeah, the Millwall
I love
Hall
it.
of
I love
Famer.
it, Shebahn. Keep going.
So, where are we going to start? We're going to start with Burnley, Fulham, or should we go West Ham versus Villa? Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want, Cass.
Let's go West Ham versus Villa, the Claret and Blue derby. I mean, to be fair, you've played Man United and Brighton, got 2 really good draws, and then you come up against Villa and Man City. A really tough run for West Ham. I know they've had them a couple of draws, but Villa are a team, to me, Tone, that don't have any superstars because of the way they work so hard for each other.
Good team, Cass, aren't they? They're the danger team at the moment, as you've seen when they beat Arsenal. and Manchester City at home. They're a real danger team to play at the moment, but they're favourites in this one. It's a little bit different. When they were kind of underdogs, although they were at home, that's when they come to the fore. They're a real good team to watch, aren't they? Outside, what you call the big clubs, they're probably the best team to watch at the moment and get the results as well at the same time. Super team.
Yeah,
really.
and West Ham, I mean, taking them on. I mean, you've seen them, like I said, the Man United draw, the Brighton draw. A little bit more resilience has happened at West Ham since Nuno's come in.
Yeah, a little bit more organisation and a little bit more pace in that midfield area. I think that's been the key. They were a little bit static. They was getting overplayed by a lot of teams. But young Freddie Potts has come in. Magassa came in as well. And I think everybody's going on about different players. But the player for me that's a big standout player is Fernandes. He's the new kid on the block for me. A real superstar that's going to be... He's only 21 years of age, Cass. Cost 40 mil. But I reckon you could double your money already.
Wow. I was going to say, that's a big statement so early in the season. Yeah. But look, West Ham, I look at them and I think there's much more in that team. I know there's problems upstairs and the relationship with the fans and everything else. But I do think if Nuno can just bring everybody together, the second part of the season can be decent for West Ham.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's what he's good at. I think when you listen to other players and other coaches on the circuit, because we're out and about there, I don't think he's an actual, coach as such. He's more of a man manager. And I think that's what's been needed at West Ham, to get those players together, get the egos out the window and really get playing as a team. And I think he's just started to do that, actually. Just started to do that. The signs are there, but you say 2 difficult games coming up. And guess what the next game is? It's West Ham and Fulham.
Oh, your derby, the Tony Gale derby.
Who do you support then?
Oh, Shebahn, the draw, isn't it?
No, pick a winner. You've got to pick one to win. Who do
you like best? Come on, Tony.
Full. Oh, you can't say Fulham, can you? No, Westfall.
Let's go there then. Shall we talk about Fulham and their situation as well? What's your thoughts on Marco Silva and his future? Because it's always kind of moving a bit questions over that.
There's always been trouble from the start, Shebahn, because he didn't buy any players in the summer. And you could see he had the ump about that, and he got out the board a little bit. But I think he's pound for pound, he's one of the best managers in the Premier League. And if you go and watch Fulham regular, you'll see that there's been a lot of results that could have been really different for Fulham. They have a lot of the play, and they've kind of been hit on the break, and then all of a sudden they've lost or drawn a game which they should have got points out. But for me, I think Fulham definitely are going to be okay. Of the two teams, Fulham with a manager there and the promise of a little bit of money in January, I think Fulham will rise that table quickly. West Ham have got a little bit more to do for me when I look at the two in comparison of my two old clubs.
Tone, I wanted to ask you, because one player that's really intrigued me from a very young age when he was at Liverpool, and then he went to Derby when Frank Lampard took him, Harry Wilson, and he's sort of been the player that was always in and out the team, never quite sure if he's going to play. And in the last couple of months, he's shown his real quality because he's got a wonderful left foot.
Yeah, great finisher, Cass, which is sort of strange for a wide player, isn't it? You'd normally think of a finisher down the middle. But for a wide player, he gets some spectacular goals outside of the foot, inside of the foot. And that great back healer he got last season against Brentford, I think you might remember. And they've got a song after him, which I can't repeat on radio. But it's a great song for him. But Harry's a good finisher. I think when you look at Harry, I think he lacked a little bit of belief. And they've had quite a lot of wide players. But since Willian has gone and retired, I think he's come to the fore a little bit. And he just needs more games, but some of the finishes he makes is incredible. You put a reel of goals together.
Absolutely.
And there's no bad ones there, is there, mate?
Yeah. No, there's not. And I mean, you had that with hopefully Josh King can get underway and get himself a goal, because his performances deserve a goal of how well he's played for Fulham as a young man.
Well, yeah, came through the youth, Josh, and I think really it's a real talent. You can see it when you're up high in the commentary box, like myself, straight away. Always on the half turn, and as the ball comes into him, it's just that split-second difference for a midfield player when they can turn, face the player, and then spot a pass straight away. And for a young man around 18 years of age, Cass, he's got a real big future ahead of him.
Obviously, Scotty Parker's Burnley. That's where they're going today, 5:30. Are you expecting this to be a Fulham victory, Tone? Do you think they're capable of getting that today?
I think they got to, Cass. It's one of those ones when they've had successions of defeats, Scotty, who I've got a lot of admiration for as well, because he has to come out week after week, doesn't he, after they keep losing. They've had good performances, but it's that case of they just make a mistake, it costs them a goal, or they don't take that chance. It'll be a difficult game up there, but if Fulham come through that first 15, 20 minutes when Burnley will have a lot of, enthusiasm about their play, then I think Fulham will be okay and maybe pick them off and get the victory.
And here, while we've got you, what about Blackburn and that pitch? Their second postponement of the season. Tony, at Ewood Park. I mean, did this happen in your day?
It didn't, Shebahn, but it always rained when I was up there, I've got to tell you. Every time I opened the curtains in the morning, it was raining. I was like, is there ever going to be a sunny day up north? Oh, it was a fantastic place to be for one of the best seasons of my career, but they've got to get that pitch right for everyone's sake.
Yeah.
A disaster. And listen, you're on stage, aren't you, at the moment, Tony, doing a number of shows with the MHM events troops, the Boys of 86. You guys on stage. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the king of the theatres, Michael McPherson, has enlisted us to get 40 years, Cass. That's how old we are now, mate.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 years ago, West Ham had their best ever finish show. We're going on a little stage tour from January round about till April. I think we've got 7 or 8 shows all over Essex and roundabout. Really looking forward to it with Frank McAvenny, Tony Cottee, and hosted by the excellent Bianca Westwood.
Yeah, sounds great. Are you going to do the 50 year as well, Tone?
Let's hope so, mate. I've got to get out and have another game of golf, Cash, because you beat me last time, didn't you?
Did he?
What?
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
Well, I've never been beaten by a Millwall Hall of Famer before.
Very good. Tony, listen, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Cheers, Tom.
Thank you, Shebahn. Thank you, Tom.
Take care of yourself. Yeah, you can catch Tony Gale and the lads on stage from the Boys of 86 with MHM going around the kind of London area. Stevenage, there's Horsham, shows with Bianca Westwood, and then also a West Ham Legends one coming up with Tony as well.
Yeah, he's, by the way, he's great, Tony. You get him in dinners and he's very funny.
Yeah,
very, very funny.
He's not going to let you down, love.
He's good. He's good entertainment. He does it with Tony Cottee. He does it for the Bobby Moore Foundation. Does it really, really well. Great stuff.
Lovely stuff. Good to have you, Tony Gale. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to get into the reports doing the rounds overnight. The AJ versus Fury may well be happening. Queensberry CEO Frank Warren is with us next. Good morning.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How do you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it. Good morning. This is the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on your YouTube channel. We're on your smart TV. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall player but Hall of Famer Tony Cascarino with you this morning. Breaking news, by the way, from the world of boxing. This came out late on last night. Our man Adam Catterall brought you the news that this might be happening.
You want some breaking news from the world of boxing? Check this out. In the last 20-25 minutes, the Ring magazine have reported that they have been advised that a highly anticipated showdown between former heavyweight champions Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will headline a Riyadh season mega event in 2026. Before that collision happens, the Ring has also learned that Fury and Joshua are slated to see action in separate fights as part of next year's Riyadh season. There you go. A bit of breaking news. Like I said, the Ring magazine have been advised, and the Ring magazine, by the way, is owned by Turki Al Sheikh, so it's pretty credible. They have been advised that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will finally meet in 2026.
So somebody who will know more about this, if it is to be happening, is main man of Queensberry Promotions. Fury's promoter, Frank Warren, is with us this morning. Hello, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Good morning. How are you two?
Yeah, we're
Very
good.
well, thank you, very well.
Any truth in the Ring magazine, Frank?
Well, they're pretty well informed at times, so you should. I mean, I'm not making any comment on that, but they are very, very well informed. So let's hope that's going to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, look, boxing fans, Frank, would have loved to see this fight. You know, even though they've had defeats, Anthony Joshua and Tyson, but the fight for boxing fans would love to see that happen for sure.
I agree with you. It's a massive fight. It's a fight that it's taken a long time to get together, and hopefully it's going to be the case, and people are going to get what they wish next year, which is these two guys in the ring facing each other. It's been a rivalry. Modern day rivalry in British and probably world boxing. And as I say, it'd be great if it's on.
What state of mind is Tyson in, Frank? Because you've known him for so long and worked with him, and you'd have known that the challenges he's had along the way, and also, where is he? Do you think he's sort of got himself into that position of going, do you know what? I might have retired, but I still want to box again.
Look, I haven't spoken to him for a few weeks now because he's obviously very, very busy. He's been filming his documentary, he's finishing off his series, At Home with the Furies on Netflix, and he's got plenty of other things he's been doing, lots of PAs and so forth. So he's up to his eyes in it, but he's constantly training in the gym. And when I have spoken to him, he's said at all times that he wants to get back in the ring again.
And he would be interested in this fight?
His family doesn't want him to. His family doesn't want him to, but he does.
Okay. It's never stopped him, I suppose, in the past from what we saw from at home with the Furies. His wife didn't want him, back in the ring, but he has been. He's come out of retirement before and done it. Do you know if he's interested in this fight, Frank? Can you give us an indication to that?
Yeah, I think he is. He's very interested in this fight, and he's also interested in fighting Isak again. I know that because he's spoken to me on numerous occasions about that. So yeah, it's a natural fight, isn't it? It's a natural fight that everybody wants to see. We all talk about it. I mean, as you say, last night the news was there was some news up on the Ring website, and that's indicated that this is going the right way. So let's fingers crossed that it happens.
Yeah, look, loads of boxers announce retirement. They've done it all through history, and so many of them come back because that's still in their belly. It's still there, Frank. If it's the hunger and desire still there, you have to get out of the way of the box and say, well, if that's what you really want, then we'll get it done.
Well, that in part is true. The other part of that is you get a lot of boxers come back when they've been out of the ring for a long, long time, and that's not, for me, a smart move. With Tyson, he's not been out of the ring for ages, and if he's going to come back, then he should do it while he's younger, and rather than doing it in a few years' time when he's ageing. And obviously, he won't be the same fighter as he was, more or less at his prime. So for a fighter to, if he retires and comes back within a year, that's no big problem for me, providing he's, and Tyson's not got a lot of miles on the clock. You look at his career, he's had some great fights, been in some really tough fights, but overall he's been pretty much a smart boxer during his career. So if he's going to do it now and do it while he's at his best, and I think he'd be a big favourite for this fight.
And Frank, what about you? Because you've put on lots of fights over the years. You've got fighters to get in and get the job done, and does the hunger come from you as well? Because you've always seemed to me as someone who just loves getting involved in the boxing game, where you're putting on fights regularly, and it just gets. You always seem excited to me about these. 2026. What is it going to be?
Well, I am, and we're kicking off 2026 in a big way. I mean, we're doing our first show in Germany, which sold out in a day. We're doing a big show, a magnificent show headed up by Moses Ituama, who's going to be, for me, it looks like champion in waiting. Exciting young prospect, 20 years of age. He's fighting on the 24th of Manchester at the Co-op Arena. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. We announced Nick Ball, who's fighting up in Liverpool on the 7th of February. That's a great fight against Brandon Figueroa, who's a two-time world champion. And Nick is a tremendous fighter, and that's a great fight. So, yeah, I've got my hunger. I'm an old geezer, but I love it, and I'll get up every morning, and before I go to bed, that's what I'm thinking about when I get up in the morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, great.
Fortunately. So, the classic is probably the oldest. It is the oldest derby in the world. The Oaks as well, and we will be putting together a lot of attractions on the hill, and hopefully it will. I'm sure it's going to be a great day out for everybody, not just the racing, just a fantastic day out for the family.
Looking to boost those attendances. Listen, Frank, thanks very much for your time this morning. As soon as we know more about this Fury AJ fight, we'll be the first to annoy you on the phone as ever. Okay, Frank?
It's a pleasure. Have a lovely day.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers, Frank.
Frank Warham there from Queensbury. Would you like to see that fight happen? Is that something?
Yeah, I think it's one that most people, if they love boxing, would like to see. It looks inevitable. And we see this so often. There's many. I mean, Pacquiao and Mayweather had this. They didn't fight for years, and then they ended up fighting probably when it was just a bit over the line, a bit too far. I don't see that with Fury and AJ. Obviously, they're not the fighters they once were, but they're still pretty close. As Frank said, there's still a lot in them too. They're not 40 and 45 and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's gone on before.
Okay, so that is Fury Joshua potentially on the cards according to Ring magazine, which is owned by Turki Ali Sheikh. So a pretty credible source. We'll keep you posted on that one here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to speak to Tony Cascarino's favourite footballer of all times, Offspring, next.
let's be honest, we've all found ourselves raging at a referee's decision at some stage. Something like this?
That is an absolutely shocking decision.
They've got a case in that it was a bad decision.
It's such a poor decision.
Yeah, I think he's just made a bad decision in that instance.
But what does it take to get to the very top level of football refereeing? You can apply to become a referee through your local county FA from as soon as your 14th birthday. After spending several hours either in the classroom or on the pitch, they'll grant you Level 7 status, which allows you to officiate amateur games. Then you'll work your way through the ranks of amateur football, not reaching the National League until Level 2. It's a long process, bearing in mind every level from 7 upwards takes an average of a year. Also, there's no specific number of games you have to ref or hours you have to log before moving on up. You simply just have to be good enough. Once you're Level 2 and have enough experience at a National League level, you can apply to the EFL to become a Level 1 referee. Then it's on you to get enough experience to climb through the ranks and eventually become a Premier League referee. In total, there are 37,000 registered referees across England, but the PGMOL has only deemed 21 good enough to officiate games in the top flight. So if you want to make it to the top, there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance of doing it, and it'll take you a decade to get there.
Good morning, this is the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Villa striker Tony Cascarino and Celtic Hall of Shamer. That's brilliant.
Knew that was coming.
Sorry, tell us a bit about you've got your Hall of Fames.
Well, they're different honours, but I mean, I've been in, obviously with Republic of Ireland, I've been inducted in the Hall of Fame. Marseille. Nancy was it was more of a freedom of the city, but I came second to Platini, who was the all-time. So there's been a few. Millwall. Yeah, there's been a few.
Yeah, so have that, Tony Gale. Hey.
Look, it's just nice to be recognised in, as what you've done, and unrecognised if you didn't do it.
You should start a Hall of Shame for
Hall of Shamer.
I like that. Your headlines this morning: striker Mickel Antonio will be given a chance to restart his club career in the Championship with Leicester City a year after being involved in that car crash. West Brom Albion picked up a much-needed 2-0 win against Sheffield United in the 6-game unbeaten run in the Championship, and high-flying Millwall take on Hull at the Den. Here's a reporter with everything you need to know on that one.
I'm Will Hobbs and I'm off to the Den as Millwall take on Hull as third takes on sixth. Alex Neil's side are unbeaten in their last 4 and could go within a point of second place Borough if they lose to QPR. For Hull, every point is crucial. Just 3 separates them in the playoff places from Leicester City in 13th. It's the Lions versus the Tigers at the Den. It's Millwall versus Hull.
Brilliant stuff. Will Hobbs there. All of the action from the Championship. 2 live games for you over on talkSPORT 2 today.
By the way, Boxing Day, Millwall take on Ipswich at the Den. A new Den. What a game that could be if Millwall's still, hovering around. Yeah. Ipswich who are flying at the moment. Absolutely. Yeah, Boxing Day.
Great game to look forward to. Also coming up for you today, 3 o'clock in the Premier League. Liverpool take on Brighton. Arne Slot navigating a bit of a tricky spell, isn't he, with the fallout of Mo Salah. It's in the newspapers today that he's back in today's squad. Brighton sitting 8th, looking for their first win at Anfield since the 2021 season. Looking ahead to this one, joined by the son of a Scottish legend, not my dad, Kenny Dalglish. His son, Paul Dalglish, coach and player himself, is with us now. Morning, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Paul.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Thanks, he's your dad's my favourite player of all time.
Sorry, Paul, if he makes it weird.
Yeah, I won't make it weird, Paul. But, your dad was a obviously being a Liverpool fan and then meeting your dad once, and I was totally in awe. And your dad being as dry as you know he can be, I sort of hello, and that was it.
That's dry or horrible?
No, he wasn't horrible. I just knew that. I obviously I played with a number of Liverpool players, so I sort of knew the dynamics of the Liverpool dressing room at that particular time, and it's great to meet someone you admired hugely. But we're not here to talk about that, are we? We're here about the Liverpool going ons, and
what do you make of the Salah situation and where we're at with it now, Paul?
Well, I think players are becoming robots at times, and we always want to see players have emotion. And if you want players to have emotion, then sometimes it's going to come out in a positive way, sometimes it's going to come out in a negative way. What I believe with Mohamed Salah is, without knowing all the details, for what he's done for Liverpool Football Club, he deserved opportunity to apologise if he has made a mistake, and it seems like that's the case. And he looks like he's back in the squad for today.
Paul, there's a question for you, because me and Shebahn were talking off air about this. Of sometimes when these players obviously have advisors and they tell them what to do, what not to do, or, and sometimes you feel like, just own it yourself. Don't ask people what you think you need to do. Surely it's obvious, Mo, that that's not a good thing. Because sometimes we ignore the advice that these players are given, how to act, whether it's a transfer or going somewhere. And, I just feel like I don't see the player taking responsibility for this.
Well, you don't know really without the details. The other thing that yourself from being in the dressing room, he'll have had players going up to him when he wasn't involved in those 3 games saying, "Oh, how are you not involved? All the things you've done." And that would have built up his kind of mood as well, and his the way it goes in a dressing room. Players will be going, players will tell you what they want. Mo Salah's the most influential player in Liverpool's squad, really, with what he's done. And there'll be players that want to make him feel happy. So they'll be saying, "Listen, I can't believe you're not playing." And that would have built up his emotion. And look, I've made mistakes in my life. He's made mistakes. I think he said it. He's probably looked back and gone, probably shouldn't have said that. Looks like there's been a very positive talk yesterday morning between the manager and Salah. And it's just a case, well, listen, for what he's done for Liverpool Football Club, he always deserves the benefit of the doubt.
Do you think he owes because that interview was such a bombshell, wasn't it, Paul? Do you think we'll see an interview next time he plays? Perhaps it will be today, where he approaches the press and almost apologises for that, or will that just be a case of move on?
I hope so. I hope he would, but that will be. I just hope he does whatever the club thinks the right thing for him to do is. The one thing that Liverpool's always said is that the club's bigger than any individual, no matter who you are, even the greats like Mo Salah. So if the club think that that's the best idea and Mo's on board with it, then, as I said, for as shocking as the comments were, his performances for Liverpool have been that good that he deserves, as I said, the benefit of the doubt for what all over the years. No one's, I've made mistakes in my life. Everyone's human. If he's made a mistake and he apologises, then you move forward.
Absolutely. At the game today, Paul, because Brighton, a very dangerous team. Liverpool have had, a West Ham away, clean sheet, away at Inter, clean sheet. And Liverpool have looked so vulnerable this season. I'm sure there's a nervousness within Liverpool fans about this type of game, Brighton.
Yeah, well, I think there's a nervousness, not a nervousness, but I think last year when Liverpool had so much control in games that you went into games and you always felt that Liverpool, you felt confident going into games. I think the way Liverpool have played this season so far, it doesn't matter who they're playing. Whether we beat Real Madrid at home, then we go and we lose games at home as well. So you don't really know what to expect. But what I would say in the last game against Inter Milan, we seem to get that control back. If last season when we played with Diaz as our false 9 dropping off, Trent going inside into midfield, we had 6 players in the centre of the park and we really controlled games and we protected the middle of the pitch. This season, with a little bit more of an expansive style, with playing with wingers, one less person in central midfield, because we played with 2 sitters and 1 advanced, we haven't had that control. And a lot of games have been a little bit of a basketball game where it's been back and forward. It's made the centre-backs look a little bit more exposed. But the game against Inter, those numbers central again, controlling the middle of the pitch. It wasn't flashy, let me say, but the control was back and the structure of the team looked much better. So if we stick with that against Brighton, then I go into the game with a lot of hope.
Curtis Jones was in that game against Inter. I thought at times, because one thing I've always felt about Curtis, that he gets in the team and then somehow becomes in and out of the side. But I think when he's on his game, Curtis just makes things happen with his close control, his ability to turn and see things.
Yeah, I honestly think that when you look at his player profile, he's got everything you need to be a top central midfielder. I mean, he can solve pressure by dribbling out of it. He can play a penetrating pass. He can get forward and get in the box. He really is. I think probably with Curtis, I think the most important thing he can do is to really, you know what it's like being a player yourself. Sometimes you get somebody who try and fit in rather than focus on being one thing and then being the best that they can at one thing. I think he really needs to decide, okay, what am I? He's played wide. He's played as a number 10 for Liverpool. He's played wide. He's played at fullback. He's played as a holding midfield player. And that's good in a squad because it gives you the chance to have less players in your squad if you've got adaptable players. But as for your career, you really want to nail down a position and go, this is who I am, because he does have the talent and the ability to influence games no matter what level he plays at. And I think he's got the potential to be a top Liverpool player.
Yeah. Well, we've got you as well, Paul. Can we move up the road to Scotland? The League Cup final, of course, tomorrow. St Mirren Celtic. What's been the chat around Celtic in your household?
Yeah, well, it's Martin O'Neill came in. It was brilliant, wasn't it? Just to see what he did. I mean, he's such a special character, Martin O'Neill, that he came in and he just gave the whole place a boost. And the performances and the results were fantastic. Then obviously it's been 2 tough games since the new manager's come in, and he just needs a little bit of time, to come in. And Martin O'Neill, when he came in, he didn't need to get used to Celtic Football Club. Just need to do when they come in. One, the players need to get used to the manager, but the manager also needs to get used to the players in the football club. And there is a little bit of a transition period when you come in mid-season. The beauty about Martin was he didn't have to get used to Celtic. He knew exactly what to say. He knew what the fans wanted to hear. He knew what the pressure was, the understanding. So I don't think we can really tell too much at this stage. There's only been 2 games, back-to-back quick games. He just needs a little bit of time to get used to Celtic and get used to him.
We winning tomorrow?
Listen, I do think Celtic are. I mean, some of the players that they've got for the level in Scotland are just, such a high level that I fully expect a Celtic win and to get back on track tomorrow.
Good to hear. And just finally, you were managing out in Miami, weren't you? That's where the Brazil-Scotland game is going to be at the World Cup. Tell me about those summer conditions, especially for any gingers who are travelling.
Oh, it's brutal.
Good.
Do you know what it is? It's not just the heat and the humidity. It's like how much the sun drains you. And the one thing I played in hot climates, because I obviously moved to Houston, which is a similar kind of temperature. It's bad enough, the heat and the humidity, but it's the time it takes you to recover from training. You think you can go and train at the same level, but you lose so much body fluid. The tax it takes on your body from playing in that heat is so much greater than playing at home that you can't actually train as much. So it's about, and you're going to have to adapt your game as well. You're going to have to probably a little bit more possession based, because that's a more efficient way of playing football. So the environment, that's one of the things when you watch MLS games, you can't feel the temperature on the telly, or you can't feel that you're at altitude. So it is going to be a huge factor in that game.
Yeah, bring on the dread, actually, of the heat, but maybe I'll lose a pound or 2. Wouldn't mind that.
If you end up on South Beach afterwards.
Happy days.
It won't be the only Brazil in Miami. I'm sure Alan will be there propped up in a beach bar somewhere.
He puts the bra in Brazil, that's for sure. Paul, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good luck, Paul. Thanks for coming on.
Take care of yourself. Paul Dalglish there, former Norwich and Livingston player. Celtic win tomorrow. World Cup will be brutal in the heat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't touch on it, but also the storms that happen in certain parts of America are really regular. Like what happened to us in '94. We were in Miami and the storm happened. And
really? Yeah.
I got injured because we had to go inside and we went into the gym and I got injured on the Stepmaster. And I remember thinking, all because of a storm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're obviously their weather changes in all different states very, very quickly.
Yeah. Paul Dalglish there. Coming up for you next on the Weekend Breakfast, we've got time for a little bit of Cascarino yes, Cascarino. Good morning.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals and taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good morning. Weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT, 10 to 10 today. Lots of games happening in the Premier League. Loads coming up for you tomorrow. And Monday Night Football as well, live for you here on talkSPORT. 8 o'clock tonight, Arsenal take on Wolves. Also your headlines this morning: West Bromwich Albion won 2-0 at the Hawthorns to end Sheffield United's 6-game unbeaten run in the Championship. Liverpool forward Mo Salah is back in the squad for today's Premier League match against Brighton after positive talks with head coach Arne Slot on Friday. Let's hope we can all move on. Lots happening in the world of sport this week. Loads on our website at talksport.com. Here's our man Sean O'Brien with all you need to know.
Lots happening over on talkSPORT.com, including the little-known story of one of Britain's greatest Olympians. We teamed up with Gluten-Free Itinerary to speak with Rebecca Adlington about how her life has transformed since being diagnosed with celiac disease. Elsewhere, find out how Jamie Vardy is getting on over in Italy and find out why the Barmy Army are fuming about an Australian Ashes advert. There's all that and more over on talkSPORT.com.
Oh, I need to see the advert. I'll need to go and watch it. talkSPORT.com, as Sean O'Brien said. Weekend breakfast for you here, and it's time now for this.
Step up to the Oki and win the ultimate VIP darts experience on talkSPORT.
This is an absolute cracker of a competition, just in time for Christmas as well. talkSPORT and Pitch Experiences, giving you the chance to get to the event of the year, the PDC World Darts Championship at the Ali Pali on the 23rd of December. It's one of those ones, if you're watching it on the TV on the 23rd, you'll be going, I wish I was there. You could be there, all thanks to us. You and three of your friends, platinum seats. You've got fine dining, a full complimentary bar, nice, and exclusive access to the 501 Lounge with our friend here at talkSPORT and our commentator Russ the Voice Bray, who's good crack to be fair to him. Straight to your prime arena table for the best view in the house to watch the darts at the Ali Pali, just in time for Christmas. Here's how you can enter for your chance to win. Text DARTS, DARTS, to 83338. Texts are £2 plus your one standard network rate, or you can call this number 0343 421 7508. That's 0343 421 7508. Lines close at 4 o'clock on the 18th of December. That's this Thursday. So when your phone rings on Thursday and you don't answer your phone, you'll be kicking yourself. So answer it on Thursday. 18 plus and UK residents only. Text the word DARTS, DARTS, to 8333 now, or call 0343 421 7508 and you could be at the Ali Pali on the 23rd of December. This is a network promotion. Full terms and conditions on our website, talksport.com. Right, what time is it? Just coming up for 10 o'clock this Saturday. We've got time for a little bit of this.
Cascarino yes or Cascarino no? On the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
Good old where we just put Cass in the spot and ask him a question and hope that he'll give us a Cascarino yes, Cascarino answer, but you don't. You always just pad around it more.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, if I can... No, it depends what the question is. Come on, far away.
Right then, boss. Cass, your Liverpool team takes on Brighton today at Anfield. Do you expect Mo Salah to feature?
Feature, yes. Start, no. Look, Isak is carrying an injury. Ekatike could easily go down the middle. That gives a slight chance of Salah playing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that he'll go straight back into the team. I would be more, he'll play a part. And I think the fans will be kind to him, because there's been, certainly from what we've learnt in the last 24, 48 hours, there's a little bit of a back down. I mean, we're not in a position where Mo Salah's refusing to talk to the manager and literally saying, I'm not going to be part of this squad, or, you know, none of that's happened. So hopefully he can move on.
Yeah. Do you ever think, also don't you ever think, do you think Isak will start today and score? He needs to...
Well, he's carrying an injury again. I mean, he's been
injured again,
in and out of the team.
Right.
It's a very frustrating... Because when you look at a player and he doesn't resemble anything that he did for Newcastle so far this season, we've seen the odd glimpse of a goal, bit of good movement, and not much more. He's been on the fringe of so many games when he has played.
Chelsea-Everton today. In the last 30 trips to Stamford Bridge, Everton have never won. Can you see them breaking that duck today against Chelsea?
I think it'll be their best chance for a long time. Chelsea... If they're on it and Palmer starts making things happen, and you know, and obviously Caicedo suspended still, so that's a bit of a blow for Chelsea. Chelsea can be, like we've seen against Liverpool, like we saw against Arsenal, they can be a really good side. If Everton can get into the game and deny and make it hard, work really, really hard, and that's what they do under David Moyes. These sides work tremendously hard. If they can really match that with Chelsea, they'll have a chance of getting something.
And finally... Sorry, what were we
No, I was going to say, but I think it's a really intriguing game today.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Also, I don't know if you've seen this news going around online. I know you're not big on the Instagram and TikTok.
No.
But Paul Pogba has invested in a camel racing team.
Yeah. Well, what am I saying? Well, you want me to be a jockey for it or something?
Yeah, actually, we were going to ask you if you want to be a jockey. He says camel racing is going to be the next big thing.
Well, it's already been big in the Middle East. Massive.
Is it?
Well, Yeah, there was £1 million or $1 million prize pool for a camel winning. Now, that was a few years back.
How fast can camels run? Like,
Oh,
what do we go up to?
I think about 30 miles an hour, something like that. Maybe quicker, I don't know. I've never raced a camel.
Okay, well, we can sort that out.
No, but they're quick. But camel race is massive.
Go to 40 miles an hour.
Oh, 40, yeah. Oh, there you go.
I'd literally never heard of camel racing until Paul Pogba said it the other day.
No, you've never heard. I knew that they were $1 million purses for, one of the big races in the Middle East, in Dubai or Qatar. I know that's been happening.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. That was Cascarino. Yes, Cascarino. You've got Arsenal versus Wolves tonight, live on talkSPORT at 8 o'clock. Cash, you've got a prediction for this one. We spoke about it earlier on, but it's comfortable Arsenal win.
3-0.
3-0 Arsenal.
Well, okay, Wolves.
3-0 Wolves then.
No, I think it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
Or a long night for Wolves. Rob Edwards will be hoping and praying that his side can put on some sort of performance.
I know. Yeah, you feel for them ever so slightly. You really do. Rock bottom there at the bottom of the Premier League. On 2 points is Wolves going to the Emirates today. talkSPORT will be there. It all kicks off at 8 o'clock. All of our build-up from 7:30. Cass, have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the bridge.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Coming up next on talkSPORT is the warm-up with Max and Charlie. Enjoy. Have a good day.